ladies and gentlemen, to the Shenandoah University eSports Arena. Here we have a fun night ahead of us here for our game schedules. We're going to start off the night with Rocket League SU taking on the Eagles, the 3 seed in their NECC Eastern Playoffs bracket. Super excited to get that one underway. And we also have some Smash Bros coming in later here tonight. So super stoked to get this night underway and started. It is going to be an absolute blast as we go through our fly-throughs here. I am Ben. Well, hey, sorry about that. There was this camera was not getting picked up or something like that. But hey, we're here now. I'm Ben Kincaid, joined by Gavin Eldridge, and we are going to have some fun here with some Rocket League here tonight with at least the two of us. And then we'll do a little, I guess, a pit stop?
Yeah,
I guess
we're
going to take a quick ad break and go right into our Smash Bros with, I believe, Chris Clayton and Kevin Clayton. The brothers will be on the desk here tonight for you guys. But let's take a quick peek at what this week has looked like thus far and what it will look like here in the future as we go through the schedule. A lot of red, unfortunately, but very close matches they were. On Monday, we saw our Street Fighter 6 go down 2-0. Varsity Smash Bros on Tuesday as well, a very, very close 2-1 loss to William and Mary Academy Overwatch as well, going down 3-1 against Concordia St. Paul there in NECC playoffs, which now brings us to, well, it says Wednesday Tekken, but it's not Wednesday. It is Thursday here, folks. Rocket League is up against Embry Riddle College here in NECC playoffs, and the Smash Bros again tonight will be up against Cleveland State. So very excited to get these matches underway here tonight.
Yeah, Rocket League play against Embry Riddle, the number 3 seed, I believe. Kind of the similar opponent to what they played last week. Last week they 3-0'd, and then this week they play against Embry Riddle, who lost a singular game against their opponent last week. So feeling good for them. And in Smash, playing against Cleveland State, from what I've heard from Smash, is that this opponent is very similar to William and Mary in terms of skill level. So we're probably going to see another banger of a match like last time. Yeah,
I'm very excited to see what this Cleveland State match looks like. I think it's going to be extremely close. I know the players are very excited to play against Cleveland here tonight, so that one will of course be after our Rocket League. But yeah, this Rocket League match is going to be pretty good, right? This is the number 2 seed in SU going against the number 3 seed of Embry Riddle, so we'll have to see how this one pans out. Very close teams, very well thought out play styles of these two rosters. We'll take a quick peek over at what the bracket looks like to see how we got here tonight. Looking at the top of this bracket, there's been some upsets, right? Marywood coming out of left field, winning 3-2 here against Stevenson A, the 1 seed. Upset city so far. Let's see if Marywood can do it again here against Alvernia White. But looking at the bottom half of this bracket, SU, a clean 3-0 against USC Garnet. The Eagles as well, 3-1, dropping only 1 game to Waynesburg, the 6th seed there in the quarterfinals, now meeting up against SU in these semis. So the winner of this will advance to the best of 7, that grand finals here for NECC East playoffs, against either Marywood or Alvernia White. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. Alvernia White, the only team that Shenandoah dropped a series to in NECC as well.
Yeah, and look at Shenandoah versus USC Garnet. That series was a 3-0, but Game 3 was incredibly close. I believe that they kind of got lucky on a goal line, same Shenandoah did, on the last second to put it into overtime. So a 3-0, but on paper, should have probably been a 3-1.
Yeah, definitely was a very, very close series through and through. As we take a quick peek at possibly what our team is going to look like here tonight, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what this kind of looks like, right? I was talking to Qualark a little bit earlier in the night, and that's our coach for our Rocket League team, for those of you that do not know the tag. But yeah, he is very confident in going into this matchup, thinks that this should be a win, but sometimes we've thought things were wins and they don't come up as wins. So we'll have to see what the squad looks like here tonight, if they are all ready to go. I know Mango was playing earlier and was definitely getting the grind on and looking pretty good in those matches as well. So he is definitely warm and ready to go. So we'll see if that can carry on into this matchup.
Yeah, looked at their scrim before. They're looking really confident, feeling loose, and feeling kind of hyped. They're taking a victory trip to get like monsters and whatever else they want. So they're feeling really confident going into the day, but that is also kind of a deficit. You don't want to have too much confidence until you can actually show up and perform. So this first game of this series is the most important because it kind of keeps their energy high. So.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like that first game is kind of like, all right, let's see what everything looks like. Make sure we're on the same page because it is that best of 5, so you do have some time. But hey, don't hear it from us. We are just lowly casters. Let's hear it from the players themselves. Well, this might not be a player. This is the coach himself, Qualark. Kevin, take it away.
Thank you so much, Ben and Gavin. I am joined today by a different guest, not someone on the team, but instead Coach Joe. Joe, tell me, how you feeling right now?
I'm excited. We're about to have our first semifinals. I don't think we made it to this part last year, so really excited to see how that goes. And they've been working hard, grinding a lot. So I think it's our year. I think it's our time.
I love to hear that. Now, I do believe that we are up against it's ERAU, the second seed Shenandoah up against the third seed. Yeah. Tell me, how has the team been trying to get into that headspace of like really getting ready for this competition? Because this is kind of the do or die time. This is where you really need to make sure you are earning that number 2 slot.
Yeah, so we're definitely excited. We know they're the third ranked team, so it's going to be a good match and a very tough match. But the way they prep, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think they treat this game any more differently than any other game we play. Like, they're not really stressing. They're just ready to play some Rocket League. And honestly, I don't even know if they know it's the semifinals. They're just here to play. They just show up on Thursdays to play.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, if you're able to take that casual mindset and like bring it forward in this competition, keep your nerves loose, I can respect that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform tonight. I'm also a little curious because there will be other competition going on throughout the night. Do you think that the space does a good job, keeping everyone involved, getting people excited, all that stuff?
Yeah, the noise is something I feel like it doesn't usually faze them as much because we're usually one of the loudest teams. So I think they thrive with it. I think they get excited. I think whenever they hear other people, excited about their games and cheering, I think they just, they're like, oh, they're cheering for us, and they get hyped up, and just everyone's energy rises and boosts. So I think it helps. It's a fun atmosphere whenever we have these game day matches.
Perfect stuff all around. Thank you so much for this interview. I will pass it back over to Gavin and Ben. Guys, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin and Qualark, for that wonderful interview. And yeah, as Qualark says, they are one of the loudest teams here in the arena. So definitely, I don't think noise will rattle them that much. If anything, the noise will rattle us all the way back here in the caster booth, because I'm sure that distance or the volume will travel that distance, right? And a quick correction as well. This is a best of 7 tonight, not a best of 5. That is on me. I misread the graphic there. But yeah, so best of 7. This is going to be a long one, which makes this game 1 even more interesting to really see how this is going to play out and what the play styles are going to look like from these two teams.
Yeah, when you think about like tournaments in general, when you go from best of 3 to best of 5, or in this case best of 5 to best of 7, everything is more grand in a way. That first game is more important because now you have the dread of losing or the highs of winning throughout the entire series, rather than, if it's a short series, it's like, oh, the momentum's not that big. But here, momentum plays a huge role. You still have 3 more games to win if you win that first game, so you would just have to keep the ball moving.
Yeah, momentum is definitely something that SU is either really good with or really bad with. Whatever they start with is kind of what we'll see throughout the series, right? We have seen them take some timeouts here and there as well to kind of reset, regroup, and sometimes that changes everything for the better. Usually, if they start off slow, they take that timeout and they can be like, all right, let's regroup, let's see what needs to change here. But sometimes they don't, right? I've seen both sides of things, of them just, all right, let's just crank. We know what we have to fix. That was just a few misplays, a few missteps here and there. And let's just hop into game 3, game 4, whatever it may be, and see if they can get things back on track. But we'll have to see if this roster can do it. So we'll take a quick look at what the roster looks like here tonight, right? We have a sub coming in. This is what we've seen every Thursday thus far. It's Pagani, Mango, and Kiazi. Mango, Kiazi, the ones that we often see on this SU roster, and Pagani stepping in for a limb here as well. Has been doing so all semester long.
Yeah, and that man in the middle, Mango, the captain, he's kind of the one that keeps their energy high. Their volume gets really high when he's feeling it, when he's feeling good. But also when they're feeling really low, you're going to hear it from him especially first. So he's kind of the catalyst for everyone else on the team. They all follow him in. They all go off his vibe. So to see if he's having a good day or not, as we can see in this video, if he's feeling good, then they're all feeling great. They got the Dr. Pepper, so obviously they're in a good mood today.
They are energized. The doc is in, right? I mean, the fuel tanks are full of Dr. Pepper, so we'll have to see what happens here. But yeah, it looks like the team is in some pretty good spirits, right? I know Mango, they're the captain, sitting in the middle, a good, determined player to really keep the mentals stable throughout the series. Pagani as well, doing a great job stepping in, has played previously with Qualark and Mango earlier on in their college career here, but now finds themselves with Kiazi in the driver's seat instead of Qualark here, so has been adjusting to some of the play styles here, but has been doing a pretty darn good job thus far.
Yeah, and thinking about, kind of how these players play off of each other, you have Mango, who's very, very energetic, but Kiazi and Pagani, if you go out there and watch them play in person, they are very quiet. They're saying comms, Qualark assures me that they are actually communicating together, but they are on a way lower sound length compared to Mango, so he kind of brings them up. He tries to get them feeling energized, as we see Kiazi feeling kind of loose, feeling good about himself right now, but Mango everything's focused around him. If his volume raises, everyone else kind of follows suit, and that's what you need in Rocket League. This game is very communication based. Everything is focused around, getting the first touch, getting these team plays going, and you have to communicate properly for that to work out.
Yeah, especially with some of the passing lanes that this team does try to look for, going off of the corner, going into those waterfall angles that we often see Mango try to set up Kiazi with, or Kiazi setting up Mango with. Anyone setting up anyone, frankly, in this roster. They do a pretty darn good job at that as we go into our hype chamber here against the Eagles. The winner of this, as stated previously, finds themselves into the grand finals. So it'll be very tense gameplay here coming up as we enter into our fly-through. But yeah, we'll have to see how this first game goes. Who starts off on the right foot and who doesn't, right? Who is playing that from behind game and seeing if they can manage and keep pace in this first game.
Yeah, it's a long series, especially, best of 7. So everything stems from obviously the first hit on the ball. How this first kickoff goes kind of sets the entire stage for the series as we get into game here.
Yeah, the kickoff already in favor of Embry Riddle. Already getting a shot on goal is Flip, but unable to get that connection here. We have Racer as well up in the air. Mango taking that one all the way down, trying to find a pinch and a cross possibly, but unable to do so. Kiazi with a little bit of a cross as well, but unable to connect with any of his fellow Hornets here as Mango now takes it back up into the air. It's going to be Cosmic Phoenix back on defense, able to find that save.
Yeah, it's a really good look for Mango already getting off the top, looking for a dunk there. Unable to connect, but a lot of pressure coming out from Shenandoah here. We see Embry Riddle with a lot of boost, but they're just unable to keep control of the ball. Pagani almost gets the 50-50 win, but is unable to connect as Mango sets up another shot. Gets kind of reflected into the goal. A little bit of a scary situation for Embry Riddle.
Yeah, Embry Riddle able to survive for the time being. Very aggressive play coming here through SU. Pagani trying to carry that one for a double tap, but unable to do so. But we can see kind of the pace that we are playing with. Kiazi flipping that one up, Racer there for the save. We can see the pace that SU is playing with, right? Very heavy on this offensive side of the ball. Embry Riddle has not been able to find any clears and then capitalize off of those clears, right? They have not been able to find massive offensive possessions like SU has been able to do so in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, and it all stems from these kind of awkward touches from Embry Riddle. Right there, we saw Racer in the middle of the field kind of do a back pass, but it doesn't go anywhere, and it allows Shenandoah to reset or to even get this pressure going. This is the first real shot that Embry Riddle has had, and nothing comes from it. Pagani gets a wide open goal, just wide open. No one was there on the rotation. That stems from these awkward touches. You know, Embry Riddle's kind of altering the car just a little bit in the wrong way, and these balls are falling straight into the wrong spot, and Shenandoah is able to connect with them.
Yeah, Embry Riddle as well on a little bit of a triple commit there. Not sure if there was a little bit of communication dropped on that sense of who was going to be back on that rotation, but as soon as I saw that clear come through from Pagani, I was like, oh, that is an open goal for sure, and they are able to find it. Mango now pushing it off into the corner. Racer able to send that one back into SU's half of the pitch, but yeah, SU up 1-0 here, 2 minutes into game one, and seem pretty in command thus far of where this ball is going to go and the pace of the game that they want to play. As Pagani's going to take that one all the way to the backboard. Double tap, will be able to find it. 2-0 SU.
Yeah, on top of his head. It was a great pass from Mango into Pagani. They just keep going for these over-the-top attacks, and it works out there. A beautiful double touch from Pagani.
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 here, not even halfway through game number one. The pace very positive in SU's favor here. Pagani again up in the air. Kiazi touching that one back down towards the corner, but Racer is there to meet that one. Pagani will go up and meet it in Embry Riddle's half of the pitch.
And Shenandoah with these, you know, these attacks that are forcing Embry Riddle into these awkward saves. You never, if you're playing Rocket League, you never want to be on the backboard and trying to make these saves by dropping down into the net. And that's exactly what Shenandoah is doing with all of these shot placements. They're going over the top and forcing Embry Riddle to either challenge them in the middle of the field or just wait on the backboard, and it's super uncomfortable. So Embry Riddle now just needs to get some pressure, kind of start feeling good about the position that they're playing, because right now they're just constantly under attack.
2 minutes to go here in game number one. Embry Riddle, the Eagles, unable to find themselves on the scoreboard thus far. SU finding two of their own, but now finding themselves a little bit on the defensive side of things. Pagani getting demoed there. Racer trying to capitalize with a cross, but unable to connect in the air with that aerial as well are the Eagles. SU now finding themselves with an offensive attempt. Mango trying to find that cross, but unable to connect. Thus far clear in favor of Embry Riddle. Racer trying to race his way down the field, but unable to make it up in time. Mango with the clear.
Yeah, I mean, Shenandoah's just feeling so confident with these aerials. They're willing to contest everything. Here we see Mango almost get a beautiful shot there. It was really well saved by Flip, but the timing is almost there for Shenandoah. They're just feeling so confident. Look at that pass off of the backboard as well for Mango. Just beautifully played. They're feeling so in tune with each other. Every single piece of this attack is just working every single time, and it looks beautifully played.
Yeah, Embry Riddle is finding themselves on that defensive side a lot in game number one here, and they haven't really been able to find very consistent clears that they can follow up on. They can get the ball out of their half of the pitch, but SU is already back on that defensive rotation, able to find a clear back in their favor and strike yet again. Embry Riddle struggling to get any offensive momentum in their favor thus far as we enter the last minute of game number one. Mango with a shot on goal will hit the corner. Won't be able to find that one, but still with that 3-0 lead and 45 to go, it looks like game one might be all done and dusted.
Yeah, all done and dusted indeed, Ben. And it just all stems from these awkward touches. We keep seeing Embry Riddle kind of get control right there. Racer has control of the ball, but has possession, but he just kind of dinks it straight into the middle. It's super uncomfortable to be in, super, I don't want to say lazy is the word, but they look like lazy touches if you're thinking in terms of soccer here.
Oh yeah, of course, and Mango as well, just keeping the pace up, right? SU has not slowed down a single time. Flip reset will be able to find the angle. Mango styling on him. Clip that one for your reel.
They clipped that one indeed. Mango just goes straight into the corner, kind of a dangerous spot to be in, but just gets the flip reset. They were not expecting him to flip it off. You can, kind of delay the flip there, and it was just beautifully played.
Yeah, 4-0 now here with 15 to go in game number 1. Embry Riddle try to finish this one on a positive note, right? Going up for that waterfall angle, but Pagani able to clear that one out of the way. 5 seconds and ticking. Mango will look to probably spike that one down. It will find its way to the ground. SU a dominant 4-0 win here in game number 1 of what could be a very long best of 7.
Yeah, if you're SU there, that's exactly what you want. You don't want to give up a goal in the first game. You're already up 4-0. You're like, all right, now just time to ice the game out. Don't let them get any sort of momentum, and that's exactly what it is. Embry Riddle just had no position at any point in that game to make any shots, it felt like. Every single time Shenandoah had these really easy saves. I don't think there was a single moment where they were stressed that a goal was potential. So everything there was clicking for them, and obviously they are feeling extremely good right now.
Yeah, I mean, a very commanding game 1, right? Mango and Pagani both finding the goal 2 apiece. No one with a hat trick just yet. I thought it might have been leaning Pagani's way with those first 2 goals, but Mango able to light up the back of the net instead. Kiazi, however, doing a great job at facilitating a lot of the movement that they are finding on this offensive side, specifically on a lot of these clears. Kiazi is very good at finding that defensive footing and maintaining a constant wall. And that's what Embry Riddle found themselves trying to play against. They were tossing that ball up, and Kiazi was there time and time again to meet those clears, making sure that the Eagles were unable to follow up.
Yeah, Kiazi and Mango specifically, it was a lot of desperation clears from the Eagles, and they were just able to get up and just spike it back down to like Pagani or Mango or whoever was there, and they could immediately start an offensive there. These attacks are so aggressive and they come so fast for Shenandoah, and that's exactly what you want to see. But now we see Embry Riddle does have a chance here. They get a shot, but it goes wide. But automatically they are on the offensive for the first time.
Yeah, they went off on that kickoff, but now it's Kiazi's turn to possibly get on the board. A shot on goal, but Flip is there to steer that one in the opposite direction, trying to find a pinch into this corner to find some sort of cross, but Mango is there and wins out on the 50-50 as well. Racer sending it down towards the net. Kiazi with the pass over to Mango, but you can see Embry Riddle is trying to get this offensive approach going. They have some looks. Cosmic now carrying that one down the field, but look at how fast these rotations are from SU. They're already back on this defensive side, able to set up their defensive looks, back post, far post, whether it be a crossbar, fly on the wall. They are there to find these angles, but still scoreless here a minute in, as SU had already found themselves on the board. Pagani with the save, Flip almost sending that one into the far corner, but we'll be able to find the goal instead. It's the Eagles first on the board in game number 2.
That man, what a shot and what a reset from Flip. He doesn't get the initial goal, but he continues the attack and just gets a second touch in. But we keep talking about Embry Riddle's attack here, and that's not necessarily the only thing that's going bad or poorly for them. Shenandoah is just really good on the defense right now. We keep seeing them. They are blocking off every single avenue for Embry Riddle to go in. It seems like if Mango goes up, then Pagani's going down, and they're just blocking every single play. So they're playing beautifully on defense with their communication. But this game, they seem to be struggling. The ball keeps going into that corner, which is really scary for Shenandoah to navigate.
Yeah, Kiazi trying to find a pinch on goal there, but Pagani is back in time to find that save. Flip has some boost to work with, but won't commit heavily. Cosmic Phoenix meeting that one halfway down the field, but SU now struggling to get a little bit of all their offensive power going in their favor, as we see another shot coming through from Cosmic Phoenix. Kiazi there for the defense, but Racer racing their way into the score column. 2-0 for the Eagles.
Man, the speed from Racer there was just crazy. Kiazi's just going for the touch there, but Racer just got there first, frankly, just had more speed about him. And something that Embry Riddle's doing this game compared to the other ones is that they're looking for more offensive bumps. it seems like every time that the attack goes out, as you see, an unfortunate kickoff goal, but great for Shenandoah there as Pagani just kind of bangs it in. But with these bumps, Embry Riddle's committing 2 people to the attack at all times. They're always looking for the goalie to bump him out of goal, but that third hit is kind of faltering. They've gotten some really, really good bumps in the goal, but the pass is just not able to connect fully. Otherwise, Embry Riddle might be at 4-1 in this game.
Another kickoff now going in favor of the Eagles for the time being. Mango trying to touch that one above the defender, but unable to do so. Embry Riddle with another clear into the corner, but you can see the communication starting to come online for the Eagles thus far, trying to set up some of these passing avenues that they were unable to find here in game number 1. SU trying to unlock some of that game plan as well for themselves. Pagani trying to send that one over into a cross angle. Piazzi sending it to the corner. Mango meeting that one, touch off the crossbar. Pagani with the follow-up, tying it up at 2.
Man, what a beautiful touch from Mango off of the back wall. Just absolutely, just put it right there for Pagani to kind of set in. It was also good speed from Pagani. Something that comes from Embry Riddle's style of attack is the boost levels, excuse me. The amount of boost that they have is very low because they're going for these really aggressive plays. So when you're on defense, you don't have much boost to work with, which means Shenandoah can outspeed you.
Piazzi getting bumps there as well, possibly looking to follow up on that attack, but unable to do so. 2 unanswered now in favor of SU as we crest the halfway mark of game number 2. Mango trying to find a cross off of the pinch in the corner, but well defended thus far by the Eagles as they struggle now to find a little bit of a clear here. Cosmic sending that one up sky high. Mango meeting that one in the air. Piazzi sending it back over into that corner, but right now it looks very Hornets favored as Mango's taking it from the sky and will be able to find it all by themselves. 3-2 SU.
Man, Mango going up top, just feeling super confident there. He's going to take it all the way himself. Embry Riddle was there, but just not the right touch and not the right angle. It was just unfortunate, an own goal. But Mango, man, just feeling really good, feeling really confident in these corners, able to get these really interesting crosses, the interesting touches, or even just going up himself. He's just playing phenomenally here.
Yeah, Racer now trying to get a demo there onto Pagani, but unable to make contact. Mango has a little bit of boost to work with. We'll just try to find a center. Pagani saw them launch their car towards that net, but unable to find the connection they were looking for as demos start to come through left and right. Embry Riddle trying to find a clear, but SU relentless still on this this offensive side, rather. Pagani passing that one up onto the backboard, was not going to let that one fall into harm's way.
Yeah, a little bit of a scary touch there, but it was actually really well played with the touch off the backboard, but you never want to put yourself in that situation if you're Shenandoah. But with these offenses, Embry Riddle is starting to get a little worried, it seems like. They keep double committing with their defense. You know, you see 2 people go up at the same time. They don't want to give up this game. You don't want to go down 2-0 in a best of 7. So now they're going all out. As you see Flip kind of go for a 50-50 there, unable to do anything with it. But now with 45 seconds left, you have to make a play.
Yeah, 45 seconds and ticking here. SU with full command of this ball thus far. Flip passing it down the line to Racer, now looking for that cross. Pagani and Mango, however, solid defense in that corner as we approach the final 30 seconds. A tap up to Mango, finds the angle. That's 4-2 now with 24 to go in game number 2.
Man, if you're curious how that happened, it was because Flip and Racer were on 0 boost for about 15 seconds there. They went all out looking for that last goal, was unable to connect. Mango got the really good touch, and they just kind of carried it over. No one was back because you don't have any boost. You have no way of speeding back in that position.
20 seconds left. SU still in firm control of the ball thus far. Embry Riddle, if you want to stay alive here in this game number 2, you have to find something, and you have to find it within the next 5 seconds at least. But with the timer ticking down, 5 seconds left on the clock, a clear in favor of SU. A shot on goal as well will find its way in. Pagani icing on the cake, 0's on the clock. 2-0 series lead for SU.
Man, you can see on the camera there, they're all smiling about that one. That was a bit of a goofy angle there, but that has to feel good going into this next game, game 3 of this best of 7. You're just now, like, you started off slow in that game. You know, you were down 2-0, but you kind of locked back in, and that's exactly what you want to see. It seemed like at the start there, they were playing a little slow, maybe a little lethargic. They just felt like, oh, we're just going to coast through the series. But, you know, the Eagles came back with 2 immediately, but you know, Shenandoah able to kind of lock back in and secure it.
Oh yeah, 5 unanswered goals there in favor of SU. Embry Riddle looked super good to start, but then they fell back into some of the habits that we saw in game number 1 of being unable to follow up on a lot of these clears, and a lot of that does have to do with the rotation game of SU as well. There has not been a lot of opportunity to really find some extended plays on the offensive side for the Eagles, whereas SU have been able to find touches off of that backboard, passing plays, crosses from those corners as well, and been able to keep the shots coming, right? They have 2 defenders. The Eagles will find 2 saves, but then that third player is not back on that rotation fast enough, and their third player for SU is already there to look for a third shot.
Yeah, and this all stems from boost management is the big thing. Shenandoah just does a great job of not going below usually 40 or 50 boost, and it allows them to rotate back very quickly or go for these aerial attacks. We keep seeing Shenandoah go from over the top, looking for these double touches, looking for these dunks on Embry Riddle, and Embry just doesn't have the boost because they are so focused on getting the goal. Once they get into an attacking position, they're expending all of their boost, looking for a cheeky goal or a fast goal or whatever you want to say with it, and it just doesn't work out for them in most cases.
Yeah, we see Embry Riddle there with a little bit of offensive presence, but unable to capitalize on anything just yet as we just start game number 3, but Embry Riddle, this does kind of feel like a must-win game for you, right? You go down 3-0, and you're threatened with a clean sweep in the semifinals. That's not something you want to see if you are the Eagles. Let's see if they can start off like they did in game number 2 and then maintain that presence throughout the game, unlike in game number 2. So we'll see if Mango can find their way out of the corner here. Pagani able to catch that one, but we can see the offensive presence now coming alive here for the Eagles.
And look at the boost. They just now got the big packs, but it was 0-0-30 for a while there for Embry Riddle, and they're still trying to go on the attack. They are just absolute, not necessarily desperation, but so much pressure is put on this first goal for Embry Riddle. They really want to get it back into a position of power, so that way they can play slow for the rest of the series. But Shenandoah is doing a great job of just rotating in and out. Only one person's making a save. As you see, a 50-50, it does not connect for Mango. Super close there, but no one was there for Kiazi or Pagani to score it in.
Yeah, it's Flip there, or Cosmic, excuse me, in the goal to be able to find that save, clearing that one off into the corner as well is Cosmic Phoenix. Racer up in the air, touching that one just enough to get that one out of harm's way. But right now we're approaching 3 minutes left here in game number 3, and we find ourselves scoreless, unlike in the first 2 games.
Unlike the first 2 games, indeed. I'm pretty sure within 2 minutes we probably saw 2 or 3 goals both games. So now the nerves are kind of setting in. They don't want to. No one wants to make a single mistake. No one wants to get off on the back foot in this 3rd game. So now just playing slow, looking for an opening. You know, kind of make sure that your boost stays topped off. Make sure you get these easy saves. Don't let any stay through.
Mango, no boost to work with, but will be able to find themselves into that corner before Embry Riddle is able to do so. However, the demo coming through does kind of halt a little bit of that offensive aggression that they were looking for. Mango trying to go off of that double tap setup coming through from Kiazi, but unable to connect as we are now halfway through game number 3 and are scoreless. Flip trying to find some sort of momentum for the Eagles, but unable to do so as a clear now comes through for Embry Riddle.
Yeah, Shenandoah's playing really well on these rotations. There we saw Pagani get demoed, and immediately Kiazi moved up. They are like every single time sending 2 people at all times, and just the rotations are so there. They're so in tune with each other right now, communication-wise, that they feel like they can do anything. The ball just needs to get in the back of the net.
Yeah, Racer now trying to find a clear. Mango able to push that one over into the corner as well. Flip has some boost to work with, but won't go full committal just yet. Pagani passing it down over to Kiazi. Kiazi with a shot on goal, hits the corner flip. Can you get it out of the way? No. Mango is there to seal the deal. 1-0 now for the Hornets.
Man, that pass from Pagani, I have no idea how that just dropped onto Kiazi's head, but that was a beautiful pass from him. I thought that ball was going to go in initially, but Embry Riddle had a really good save, but obviously Mango, the captain, is there to just send it straight through.
Yeah, Flip had an angle there, finding that save. I was surprised that they even got that touch, but Mango was already there. The momentum of Flip's car was already fully stopped, and it's really hard to get back out of harm. Mango, that was a crossbar, a post, if you will, not what you were looking for. Mango often draining some of those shots, as Pagani is now trying to carry that one into the net, but it still remains a 1-0 game here. 1:15 to go. Embry Riddle still has plenty of time to work with to tie this one up, as it looks like Racer is going to try to find the angle, but Mango already back on the defense to find that save.
Man, the dink is kind of affecting Shenandoah. You see there a double commit on the save. They knew that they should have had that goal. That should have been a guaranteed 2-0 lead, but just unfortunate. The worst sound in Rocket League. Now we see Kiazi go for these solo plays, looking for anything, and Pagani just gets an unfortunate missed touch. You see on the camera now, he knows that he messed up, but now you just have to get it back. Still a tied game, 50 seconds left. You don't want to go into overtime here. Just got to finish it out.
Yeah, just a flip in the wrong directions coming through there from Pagani. Racer with that clear on target, I guess caught Pagani a little bit off guard, was moving their way towards that boost in the corner, but unable to get there in time, as now we see Mango on the aggression, flip back on the defensive side. 40 seconds and counting to go. SU trying to find this second goal. Kiazi with bumps, Mango with a shot, flip with a deflection. Pagani now up in the air, going for the double tap. It's again cleared by Embry Riddle. 30 seconds to go. Mango now trying to find a clear over the top. Pagani going in for a shot, but Embry Riddle still holding strong on this defensive side.
Man, Embry Riddle's defense is so good. It's just unfortunate their touches are so weak on the clears. We saw Flip and Racer both get these kind of weak clears straight into the middle, but Embry Riddle's doing a great job on the defensive front, just getting these saves off. If they can clean up their clears, they can take the series, but right now just, you know, kind of slow with it.
A cross in front of the net will get spiked by SU. First overtime of the series, tied up 1 apiece. The kickoff will mean a whole lot. Kiazi able to win out on that one. Won't be able to get the full boost in the corner, however. Embry Riddle able to get back in time on the defensive side. Cosmic Phoenix does not have a lot of boost to work with. It's going to be Racer back on the defensive side, but Flip getting demoed means Cosmic needs to get there in time, and they do. 20 seconds in now. SU in full control on this offensive side. Kiazi finding a cross. Cosmic able to meet it.
Man, Cosmic, I think, has made 3 saves in a row, but just right there, Mango gets the perfect angle there off the wall. No one was back for Embry Riddle. They were trying to get boost, as you see on the right side, that they're double zeros plus 60. No one was there. Cosmic Phoenix, the only one with boost, just missed the ball, and the perfect timing for that free goal.
Yeah, it looked like a whiff on the side of Cosmic, possibly Flip as well, trying to beat Mango to that ball on the wall. Just no player back after those 2 players on the side of Embry Riddle miss on that touch. And yeah, a little bit of an anticlimactic end there to that overtime. A very, very close ending to regulation in game number 3, but overtime was completely controlled by SU.
Yeah, anticlimactic, sure, but the bleed up there the entire time, those 40 seconds was non-stop offense, where eventually Embry Riddle's going to run out of boost. You know, those boost packets in the back don't spawn forever. They don't keep spawning. So at some point, you're going to run out of boost. You're going to run out of steam. And right there, that was the accumulation of all of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And now, if you're the Eagles, right, what do you do to fix this? You're now down 0-3 here in this best-of-7 semifinals of the NECC East playoffs. You need to come up with something big, right? I mean, it looks like SU has been in full control thus far this series. While the games have been close, specifically that third game, the other games were just kind of snowballed into massive leads. A 4-0 in game number 1, a 5-2 there, 5 unanswered in game number 2, and then an overtime whiff from the Eagles as well, sealing that one for SU 2-1. What do you fix?
Yeah, and when you think about just being a competitor in this environment, you're feeling really confident game 1, you lose. You're like, okay, whatever. Game 2, you go back and you're trying to regain it. You're like, okay, I can do this. Game 3, now you're feeling like I have to win now. And here we see game 4. Embry Riddle is just feeling so out of it that Shenandoah gets a free kickoff goal right there.
Now, Pagani's laughing. I don't know if you heard what I just heard, but I heard a scream from Mango on the opposite side of this arena. They are feeling pretty darn good after that kickoff goal as Mango now tries to get in on the fun. Some boosts to work with up in the corner. Crossbar again, Mango. That's 2 this series.
Man, Mango must be in love with that sound because, man, he keeps doing it. But, yeah, that scream caught me so off guard. You know, we have 2 doors. We have a bunch of walls between us. But Shenandoah is just feeling so confident right now. They're just going relentlessly on the attack here as we see Embry Riddle kind of get 2 demos here. So Shenandoah, the win is out of their sails for a minute.
Yeah, now Mango was very lucky and able to find that save. Flip went in for that demo, got it, but they were unable to get it in time. Mango's car was still in the space to find that touch and that save as well. The Eagles very, very close to tying that one up as we are a minute in. Mango boost to work with up in the air, goes for the double tap of Cosmic, able to push that one out of harm's way. Kiazi across over to Pagani. Racer able to meet that one halfway as well. But you can see the relentless offense coming through from the Hornets. Kiazi and Mango both running low on steam here. Pagani with a shot on goal will go off of that post as well, as now they find themselves back on this reset.
Yeah, man, Shenandoah just notices when Embry Riddle's really low on boost. They were low on boost themselves, but Flip was sitting in the goal with 0 boost, so they know that they can keep going on the offensive because no one's there to counterattack them. They have no potential for a counterattack because of these boost levels. As we see the ball just go straight into the middle of the net, but Shenandoah's unable to send it in.
Kiazi absolutely sent their car towards that ball, but was not moving as fast as he intended. Possibly thought that ball was going to be touched a little bit more by the Eagles there to be sent further across that field, but unable to find the connection there, as now we see Embry Riddle with a little bit of offensive threat, but unable to find the angle. A pass from Cosmic to Flip, too fast to handle. Flip reset now off of that one, but unable to find any gap in the SU defense.
Man, Mango's just being a true captain here. Some might say is ball chasing, some might say it's just good positioning, but it just seems like every single time that Embry Riddle has the ball, Mango is there to contest in some way. Either he's in goal, he's going for it, he's contesting 50-50s, whatever he has to do, he's there for it, and he's showing off just a beautiful performance from here. As we see Mango go up top and get a beautiful ball into, or a beautiful clear that Shenandoah might be able to connect with. Pagani gets a shot, but it's unable to go in.
Yeah, halfway through here, a little over halfway through game number 4, SU. Embry Riddle keeping it pretty close here. 1 score lead for the Hornets, but still finding themselves with a pretty strong control of this ball. Embry Riddle trying to find some sort of angle. Kiazi going for the double tap. Won't be able to connect the crossbar. The best defender thus far for Embry Riddle here in this series. 3 goals snuffed out by the stationary objects.
Yeah, Embry Riddle now just throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks. They're just going all out on the offensives, no matter the boost levels, trying to get anything, but Mango is just there every single time with these beautiful clears. Razo kind of does a back pass into the middle, which leads to a free shot from Pagani, but unfortunate that there was someone there to save it.
Cross coming through from Mango. The follow-up from Kiazi is there. 2-0 lead now from SU, trying to secure this clean sweep.
Man, look at Mango on the camera, just getting absolutely hyped. Pagani's kind of laughing at it because, you know, Mango's probably saying something a little silly there, but he's feeling so confident. Just everything is clicking for him and the rest of this team that just feel like nothing can go wrong for them.
And that is the first goal for Kiazi as well here in this series, finally meeting the 6 goals that Mango and Pagani both have. 6 apiece to the 1 on the poor defenseman that is Kiazi. Flip now, some boosts to work with, will be able to get the ball slightly past Mango, but a little bit of a traffic jam on the wall there. That's like me playing Rocket League. I don't know what I am supposed to do, but Flip now able to find a little bit of a push, but Mango able to catch that one. A backflip instead going for the fake out there, hoping that Embry Riddle would overcommit on that aerial deflection, but unable to find it, as we now have 40 seconds left.
Yeah, man, 40 seconds left, and you see the nerves starting to get in for Embry Riddle. They do not want to go out this soon in this NECC playoff tournament, but it just seems like every single time there's some sort of misinput from Embry Riddle. They're getting these good possessions, good offensive attacks, but it seems like some person is just whiffing, maybe, you know, faking in a lucid term. Just nothing's able to connect from it in this series, unfortunately.
And Cosmic Phoenix getting demoed there as well. The follow-up from Kiazi. Yet again, they find themselves with a 3-0 lead here with 15 to go in game number 4. Embry Riddle. I mean, it's going to have to be 2 kickoff goals if you want to stay in this one.
Yeah, 2 kickoff goals and then pray that you get a 0-second goal. But now, Kiazi, your objective, reach that 6 number. You know, maybe you can tie the rest of your teammates. You have 15 seconds left to do it. Let's see if you can.
10 seconds and ticking. Pagani with possession will be cleared by Flip. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Embry Riddle trying to keep the ball up, trying to end the season here on a good note, but they will be unable to do so. SU with a clean sweep punch their ticket to NECC East Playoffs Grand Finals and will await the winner of Marywood and Alvernia White.
Man, Shenandoah just had a really, really clean series there. They did not let up very many goals. It just seemed like the attack was absolutely relentless, and obviously you can see that they are feeling so confident. They played that absolutely beautifully.
I mean, already you can see Kiazi standing up, dancing to the camera. Pagani showing some emotion. We often see Pagani with a straight face on some of those player cams. Maybe Mango was saying some silly stuff towards the end there to really get the emotions going on that team. But yeah, a very well done series, very well performed by every single member here on SU, and very, very well deserved.
Man, it's good to see that Kiazi is just kind of feeling very happy with himself. You know, getting only 2 goals comparatively doesn't always feel the best, but obviously he's just happy with the win. And you love to have that caliber of player on your team, someone who's just there to get the win. Doesn't matter what exactly he does, he just wants the W, and I love to see that.
Yeah, W achieved, right? A clean 4-0. As we look back at some of the scores, right, we had Mango with 6 goals, right? Pagani with 6 of their own. Kiazi squeaking their way in there towards the end in that game 3 and 4, or I think only game 4.
Only game 4, yeah.
Those goals, 2 for him. I believe it was 2 on the side of Racer and 1 coming through there from Flip as well. So very good showing from the SU defense as well, able to find a lot of these clears. Mind you, they weren't playing a whole lot of defense, but sometimes offense is the best defense, right? Keeping that ball away from the Eagles, making sure that they could get no wind in their sails.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seemed like the Eagles kind of struggled with boost management would be the best way to put it. Shenandoah was just constantly putting it on the pressure where they never had time to go back and get the boost packets. We saw a lot of the time that Flip or whoever was sitting in goal with like 0 or 12 boosts, and it's a scary position to be in, but you'd rather be on 0 boosts and have no potential for a counterattack than give up a free goal. So it felt like a lot of time offense was indeed the best defense.
Yeah, and it looked clean through and through, right? Sure, you had some very close matchups. I mean, a 2-1 victory. This one looked close for a lot of it, but then they were able to open it up there towards the end with a very clean 3-0 there in game number 4. But yeah, props to the Eagles as well, right? They had a lot of looks. They just weren't able to keep that pressure up, right? They were unable to punch through some of the holes that SU was leaving in some of that defense. Mind you, there were not many, but the Eagles were able to squeak through some of them, right? And a lot of it was some of those passing plays that we saw, some mechanical outplays as well coming through from Racer, specifically off of that corner, beating out some of the SU defenders from time to time. So we'll have to see what happens here in the grand finals. But yeah, good showing from both teams.
Absolutely. And Racer, shout out to him. He just played really well. It seemed like he had a lot of speed on his end and was able to kind of catalyze everything for the Eagles. But yeah, unfortunately, in the end, you know, you have a couple missed inputs. You just have a little bit of the nerves and you're just unable to do anything with it.
Yeah, great showing from both teams. But that's going to do us for Rocket League here tonight for me and Gavin. That will be it for us. We're going to wrap it up quick because I think they're probably playing right now. So let's toss it to a quick break, and you'll be joined by Chris and Kevin here very shortly. gameplay here coming up as we enter into our fly-through. But yeah, we'll have to see how this first game goes. Who starts off on the right foot?
And it allows Shenandoah to reset or to even get this pressure going. This is the first real shot that Embry Riddle has had, and nothing comes from it. Pagani gets a wide open goal, just
Command thus far of where this ball is going to go and the pace of the game that they want to play. Pagani's going to take that one all the way to the backboard. Double tap, will be able to find it.
Contest everything. Here we see Mango almost get a beautiful shot there. It was really well saved by Flip, but the timing is almost there for Shenandoah. They're just feeling so confident. Look at that pass.
Oh yeah, of course, and Mango as well, just keeping the pace up, right? SU has not slowed down a single time. Flip reset, will be able to find the angle. Mango styling on SU, a dominant 4-0 win here in game number 1 of what could be a very long best of 7.
Yeah, if you're SU, then every single time Shenandoah had these really easy saves. I don't think there's a single moment where they were
trying again to meet those clears, making sure that the Eagles were unable to follow up these angles, but still scoreless here a minute in as SU had already found themselves on the board. Pagani with the save, Flip almost sending that one into the falling in their favor. As you see, another shot coming through from Cosmic Venus. Yazi there for the defense, but Racer racing their way into the score column.
Speed about him, and something that Embry Riddle's doing this game compared to the other ones is that they're looking for more offensive bumps. It seems like every time that the attack goes out, as you see, an unfortunate kickoff goal, but great for Shenandoah.
For themselves, Pagani trying to send that one over into a cross angle. Yazi sending to the corner. Mango meeting that one, touch off the crossbar. Pagani with the follow-up over into that corner, but right now it looks very Hornets favored as Mango's taking it from the sky and will be able to find it all by themselves. Pagani and Mango, however, solid defense in that corner as we approach the final 30 seconds. The tap up to Mango finds the angles at least, but with the timer ticking down, 5 seconds left on the clock. A clear in favor of SU. A shot on goal as well will find its way in.
Going into this next game, game 3 of this best of 7, you're just now like you started off slow in that game. You know, you coasted a series. But, you know, the Eagles came back with 2 immediately, but, you know.
In favor of SU. Embry Riddle looked super good to start, but then they fell.
The big thing. Shenandoah just does a great job of not going below usually 40 or 50.
Full committal just yet. Pagani passing it down over to Kiazi. Kiazi with a shot on goal. Hits the corner. Flip, can you get it out of the way? No. Mango already fully stopped, and it's really hard to get back out of our Mango.
But just unfortunate, the worst sound in Rocket League. Now, we see Kiazi go for these solo plays, looking for anything, and Pagani just gets an unfortunate mistouch. You see on the camera now.
That will get spiked by SU. First overtime of the series. Offensive side, Kiazi finding a cross, Cosmic able to meet it.
Man, Cosmic, I think, has made 3 saves in a row. Just right there, Mango gets the perfect angle there off the wall.
After those 2 players on the side of Embry Riddle missed on that touch. And yeah, a little bit of an anticlimactic end there in favor of SU. Embry Riddle looked super good to start, but then they just kind of snowballed into massive leads. A 4-0 in game.
Competitor in this environment. You're feeling really confident game 1. You lose. You're like, okay, whatever. Game 2, you go back and you're trying to regain clears. Razo kind of does a back pass into the middle, which leads to a free shot from Pagani, but unfortunate that there was someone there to save it.
Cross coming through from Mango, the follow-up from Kiazi.
Maybe, you know, faking in a lucid turn. Just nothing's able to connect from it in this series, unfortunately.
And Cosmic Phoenix getting demoed there as well. The follow-up from Kiazi. So SU with a clean sweep punched their ticket to NECC East playoffs grand final.
Shenandoah just had a really, really clean series there. They did not let up very many goals.
See Pagani with a straight face on some of those players.
Well, a quick series, quick change, quick break, and we're right back to it. We're back in the heat of the action, live from our esports arena here in Winchester, Virginia. My name is Chris Clayton. That's Kevin Clayton. He's my brother. We are going to be bringing you our 2nd Smash Bros. Playoff series as the Shenandoah University Varsity Smash Bros. Team gears up to take on Cleveland State in round 1 of NACE playoffs. Congratulations to the Rocket League guys on advancing to their grand finals in NECC, but now it's our turn.
Yeah, I'm hoping that energy that the Rocket League team has is contagious beyond just the excitement. I mean, we have seen the Smash Bros. Players really foaming at the mouth, ready for another opportunity to compete, because after Tuesday's match, you could tell that they wanted more.
Yeah, there was an indescribable weight in the room on Tuesday after that series. Set 3, last stock, last hit. Shenandoah goes down. They bow out of their NECC bracket, and this team was devastated, and rightfully so. They fought very hard to get to that point, had an undefeated season all the way up to that 2-seeded rank, won their first round, but unfortunately fall just short. Now, 48 hours later, they have one heck of a shot to redeem themselves, and guess what? We talked on Tuesday about what was at stake, and it's an opportunity to compete against the best in Winthrop. Well, guess what? Seeding has unfortunately taken advantage of the situation and placed Shenandoah in an uncomfortable place at the 16 seed, taking on the 17 seed tonight. Winner plays the 1 seed. Guess who? Winthrop.
Yeah, but it's still another opportunity to compete against them, and I understand the want for another opportunity to adapt to Winthrop's game plan. Can you imagine the mental games that would have happened with that sort of opportunity? It would have been insanity, but that's not always going to happen, and now we will hopefully get to see a bit of a more authentic experience if Shenandoah can walk away with the win in this series up against Cleveland State.
Yeah, given the circumstances here, we're moving pretty quick as we don't have an interview or much time to talk because of the Rocket League series that you all just got to watch. So this is live gameplay. We are into our first matchup of the series, and already plenty to talk about. SU making a big decision to start Igloo, not the usual kip that we've become so accustomed to seeing, and Cleveland State sending out Youngling first, which does not feel great for Yoshi.
Yeah, here's the thing. This is the same start that we saw on Tuesday as well. I'm wondering if, because of Kip's performance in the regular season, if Shenandoah's roster is trying to hold on to this pack going forward, trying to add just a lot more value in what Kip can do rather than trying to risk that early start. So Igloo going in, percents starting to even out, but definitely a bit more momentum into Igloo's favor. However, Youngling with those projectiles could very quickly rack up just a little bit more percent, and that forward air is very dangerous. The double jump armor will get Igloo out of that situation this time around, but it should take the stock at any given moment, as the up airs do as well.
Absolutely a strong, true, or maybe not true, but great combo out of Igloo there to start this series off and take the first stock. Another thing to keep in mind, this is an online league, right? We're not playing in person, and that's where characters like Youngling really start to thrive in environments like this, as he does find the up smash off the roll-in and catch Igloo at over 100%, taking a stock and tying that count.
Yeah, Youngling is so fascinating to me, Chris, because it feels like it's the same situation as Ike, where it's kind of this weird dying art. We see Youngling, who has great combo game. The boomerangs and the fire arrows just offer so much pressure and great setup potential, but it seems like players have gotten really good at playing around it. However, once you're caught in this sort of juggle state, as Igloo is right now, he was struggling to find a spot to get back onto the ground. Once you have that opportunity, you can start keeping things going. But man, it is so incredibly difficult to get your game plan going beyond that. The double jump armor coming in clutch again.
Yeah, great stuff there. Igloo showing the mastery over this character, as he does get hit by the neutral B, but still not getting confirmed into that forward air, and goes up and finds one of his own, goes off stage and catches the Cleveland State Youngling with the up air, taking another stock lead. And for a matchup that I know Igloo didn't love to see coming, it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, look at these strings. A couple of back airs getting Youngling back into that corner pressure where the projectile game will be slowed down, calling out the tech get-ups. Youngling having to burn that double jump, trying to approach with a down air even. Just look at how the Youngling is feeling the pressure, not wanting to approach this Yoshi, and because of that double jump shenanigans, it's been so much that has worked against this Youngling, and because of that, now Igloo may have the opportunity to keep this momentum going. 74% to 128, and Igloo is still dancing around this projectile game.
Yeah, I really like the mental we're seeing from Igloo. We saw at the early percents, Igloo getting aggressive, trying to find the spike at an early percent and maybe take the stock without losing his, because you have to think at a percent like this, it's not going to take much to kill him, so he's willing to risk this stock in exchange for maybe running away with an extra one. But now both of these players over 100%. Igloo cutting it close, down being to the ledge. 173%, and the forward air lands, so Igloo does lose his second, but now it's on this youngling to really start finding a run to tie this up or at least walk away still with that stock in hand.
Yeah, and this game is not over yet, Chris. Youngling's combo game and just pressure game in general is going to be enough to rack up percent very quickly onto Igloo. While Igloo hold on to that stock for a very long time last go around, it does take just one good forward air to potentially send it back the other way. As we see, fires connecting, and Igloo going and using the B reverse to dance around it. Will the back air be enough? It will, as Igloo closes out the first match of this series with one stock in hand.
Well, how about it? Stone Cold, we say it all the time. That's a bad man, and he takes care of business. He's the fixer for the team, except he's starting here today, which is a bit of a mix-up, but getting a matchup he doesn't like, walking out on top is certainly where you'd like to be if you're SU. One stock still in hand, and now Cleveland State with the opportunity to at least make a decision, find a counter pick they like, or maybe just make a future-oriented decision. And now that we are between games, we have a moment to talk about the teams, as we did sort of rush into that game, and we apologize if you are just joining us.
Whiplash.
Yeah, hey, welcome back. Let's slow down, take a breath, and talk about what we've got coming. Cleveland State, their roster, as far as we know, looks to be a Youngling, a Rob, a Snake, an Aegis, and a Bayonetta. That screams one word to me. Meta.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong roster. It's the kind of roster that I expect a lot of the players on SU's team to have a lot of experience against, but that doesn't necessarily make it any easier. Because of that, I think looking forward, Young Link is now off the table. Rob, I think, has caused a lot of problems for Shenandoah's roster, Snake especially so. The Aegis, I think Shenandoah's done a good job of really finding answers for that when needed, both in like third or second or even third players being sent in, finding opportunities to really get that momentum going. Bayonetta's the weird one.
Yeah.
Bayonetta is kind of this weird, just needle in the haystack that you are a little confused by. If you see Bayonetta, you either like, sure, and then you walk away with 3 stocks in hand, or you are in for a fight for your life. So I'm very curious if we will see that player today, and if we do, it could be electric.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to say as well that the one exception to that is that this Aegis player was the only player to not check in. Here in NACE, you have to check in 4 players, and any one of those players could start the series. Well, Aegis was not on that list. That does not mean they can't play, however. So that was a question mark coming into today, whether we would see this player or not, and sure enough, we don't have to wait long. Igloo now matched up into this Pyra Mithra, very strong character, like we said. Dreamless certainly strong on this character, so plenty to look forward to here, but Igloo with an opportunity to build an advantage for the team.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Dreamless is actually playing this matchup a little bit slower than I was expecting. Igloo, now caught up in the air, will experience a pretty strong combo game. There's that swap to Pyra, Chris. You know how much I harp about swaps to Pyra and when it's a little too early. I think that right now it is a little too early, but we will see as they try to end Igloo's approach.
Yeah, very, very aggressive decision-making so far from Dreamless, and maybe with a situation like this, getting caught, with a stock deficit by 1. He double jumps, super armors the spike. That was crazy.
Wow! And he goes down too. Chris, we talked about how the double jump armor can sometimes work against Igloo on harder hits. I am shocked that it worked out as well as it did this time around, and that the Mithra was just a little too low. Speaking of just a little bit too low on that up air means that Igloo will hold on for just a little longer, but the forward tilt trades. Igloo walking away with 1 extra stock in hand and a beautiful performance.
Well, how about it? I mean, that's not bad at all. We talked quite a bit on Tuesday about how I said the phrase a lot. You can't complain about trading 1 for 1. And in that sense, that feels a little bit different. It certainly seemed like Pyra Mithra had that under control, was starting to find some combos here and there, but weird interactions. gross call out from Igloo on just charging a forward smash on the platform. Didn't get the kill or anything, but like massive decision making out of the team captain here, ends up walking away with that extra stock. And what did we see on Tuesday? When Igloo walks away with 4 stocks, it tends to put the team at least in a pretty good spot.
Right, and on top of that, I know I harp on this a lot when it comes to Pyramithra, but when we saw that matchup start, I understand playing slow. It's the first match of the first series for you going in. Might as well, take some time, feel the delay, try to figure out what sort of game plan I'm dealing with against this Yoshi. I get that. But that was a super early swap to Pyra, and I do not like it when people do that, because it's a tell. It is in a game that is all mental gymnastics, it is a huge tell that you are trying to close out this stock early, and there are ways to play around it. You can play extremely safe or extremely punishing, as we saw with Igloo. Jumping past the side special, immediately going for a forward air, getting tons of percentage. I don't know. I just harp on that a lot. I don't like it.
And that's totally fair. I mean, that makes total sense to me. And now SU is in a bit of a weird spot because I was talking to the team a little bit before the series, and they said that with this lineup, they felt pretty good that they could move Willie back to the anchor, whereas we've been seeing a lot of fluidity in this roster over recent matches. The one exception to that being Aegis. Aegis does really well into every character on our roster, and the one person that can deal with it is Willie. So that brings us to what's on your screen now. It looks like Willie is coming up to the number 2 slot here for the Shenandoah Crew Battle Squad, but finding a grab at 0 is certainly a strong start. Can't quite find that spike hitbox, so Pyramithra lands on the platform, and we continue playing.
Yeah, there's a very funny quote from Riddles that I saw on one of his streams as Willie eats a very strong combo, but there's the Pyra grab, or Willie grabbing Pyra, getting a solid amount, trying to call out the jump, but it doesn't connect right there. Still, the quote that I saw was, "Why don't you solo?" Whoa! Okay. We'll get the quote in after, Chris. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. Pyra got a back air super high up on the stage. That does send at a pretty nice angle up and to the right. So you have to be aware of it. Otherwise, you will lose stocks like that.
Yeah, we saw the matchup preference for a little bit there. It certainly seems like Willie likes this matchup, but a tough break there, getting caught just a little too close to the ceiling. So does lose his first stock, but still trying to re-ascertain stage control. Bit of an awkward situation there, but
yeah,
I think that was a footstool.
It was, but I also think the Pyro was trying to push Kazuya in shield back towards the spinning Fireblade, like very deliberately getting Willie in that hitbox so that they would have advantage afterwards. Willie using the footstool to kind of get out of that awkward situation. Now, I'm also noticing it seems super difficult to land in this matchup. Pyro just has so much space with that sword, but you know what works on the other side? One quick rage drive will reverse it as Pyra is the one sitting at the ledge, goes for the nair, and barely dodges the up special, which means that back air will close another stock.
Yeah, it seems like Willie really struggling to find many of these combos that we've become so familiar with, and it's just been a lot of intermittent hits and small windows of opportunities here and there. Pyramithra really doing a great job of zoning this demon off, and Willie struggling to find the answer. As I mean, just look at this, just shield after shield. The grab does connect. It still won't kill. You just able to make it back, but not survive that one, as Willie does claim his first stock.
Yeah, very good stuff here. Willie definitely at the percentage still to get a good combo game going. There's that electric onto the platform, gets about 35% and sits back. Does not want to risk anything too crazy up against the Pyra, because one mistake could spell disaster, as we've seen, as Pyra's throwing down airs left, right, and center. It makes sense. At this point, I do believe that Kazuya can go down, and you can sit on that platform as long as you want because of that. It's crazy just how powerful this character can be in the right moments, in the right hands, as a good reversal will send Pyramithra spiraling down to the blast zone.
Wow, a very aggressive, borderline, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, it's a cocky decision almost, out of that Pyra to really commit to an offstage ledge guard, and ultimately Kazuya has a great recovery. For as heavy as he is, he's got a lot of options for how to get back on stage, even if it doesn't look like it, so he's able to stall for as long as needed. I didn't see, but I imagine he was able to get a laser off to kill his momentum and then buy time. Great look from Willie, and he ends up taking that stock and walking away with one in hand.
Oh yeah, I do think that neutral special from Pyra would have caught Willie. I think if Willie didn't stall there with the laser, it would have gone back into the stage or sent flying into the blast zone, and I don't expect you to be able to tech that. I think that you're at too high of a percentage. Yeah. So Pyra, again, you said it, very aggressive call to try and just close out the stock. I get it. You had a lot of momentum going, but it's a little bit of matchup knowledge there, not being familiar with that sort of situation, and it ends up with the reversal. Willie still double jump, goes up, forward airs, and then up special grab ledge, and Pyra has no recovery.
An awful recovery. No, you're absolutely right. And so, strong showing out of Willie. I'm sure not as strong as he may have expected, and now is where every little bit matters so much more. You have to credit Igloo for going and taking one stock as well off of that Aegis to make the job that much easier for Willie in the end. So, Willie ultimately able to get it done, and now we prepare to load into our next matchup. The response from Cleveland State is Bayonetta.
Okay, so what is the answer for a scary demon man who is sitting on the stage all the time? The answer is a character who's going to be in the air all the time, who's going to just
an attractive
continuously...
demon woman.
Right, exactly. You just have to deal with Bayonetta staying up there. But at the same time, if you go a little bit too close to that scary demon man, it could spell disaster.
Yeah, now both of these characters certainly known for their combo game, but you said it, very different combo games. I mean, the aerial controlled by Bayonetta, but the ground is Kazuya's territory as he does take the first stock without much issue, now up to 60% and going off stage. But Cleveland State, Chumpus Chimpy, I believe is what that's. Chimpus Chump. No, I'm going to stop. Chimpus Chimpy on the Bayonetta. Now comboing Willie up to the very tippy top of the stage and does catch the landing with a forward smash. Takes that stock. Willie bows out after 3, but does get one off Bayonetta.
Yeah, for that matchup, it was a tale of landing for both sides. Yeah. Bayonetta will have to land at some point. She has great aerial combo game, but won't be able to get it off every single time, and will need to find an opportunity to get back onto the stage to get the game plan going once again. Who's waiting there but Kazuya Mishima to get a couple of combo games going, secure one stock. But the other side of that is true. If you are caught in the Bayonetta combo, you're going to need to find an opportunity to land, and Bayo usually beats you to the ground. So it's important that you find opportunities to get back in safe spots, but they're one giant demon fist from another dimension, and suddenly you're sent flying.
Yeah, and now something is screaming out at me right now, though, and I said that one word was jumping out at me about this Cleveland State roster, and it was meta. Well, of the characters remaining that we haven't seen, it's a Rob and a Snake, and Cleveland State only has one player behind this Bayonetta. So, in my opinion, Bayonetta as a character maybe is, or maybe Young Link, I don't know, but is kind of the lowest on that meta tier, one of those two, either Young Link or Bayonetta.
Probably Bayo.
Okay, yeah, so either way, though, it means we won't see either Rob or Snake, who are both very high up there. So ultimately, I view that as good news for SU, but ultimately not going to matter if they can't get there. Certainly have to get through these 2 Bayonetta stocks first.
Right, so the answer becomes Shenandoah, 2 players behind us, either the Jigglypuff or the Pac-Man. There are good opportunities for both, but I do think that an air-to-air game between Bayo and Jigglypuff could work out pretty well here. So I expect that going in, especially because if you're going to deal with the projectile games of Rob and Snake, it might be better to have a projectile game for it. And sure enough, as we hop into game, we will see Far Rhombus making an appearance.
All right, Far Rhombus looking to carry his weight here. A very slow, even-paced trend from both teams. Willie walking away with 3 stocks, Igloo walking away with 4. And here comes one of those combos. How about this? Far Rhombus really stringing together some damage. He does go down to try to defend and gets caught, but Bayonetta with multiple recovery options can make it back from pretty far away. Good patience there out of Farambis does come out empty-handed, but a good observation for potentially future interaction.
Yeah, I think Jigglypuff's floatiness is helping a little bit in getting out of these situations, but when you're in the top blast zone like that, it could spell disaster the other way around. One good combo will be able to close out that Farambis stock, but a good back air in return means that Bayonetta is back at the ledge and feeling the pressure.
Yeah, good nair there to fall out of that combo as well. Farambis looking to get any ledge pressure he can. Another nair. Anytime he's in a combo, you can guarantee he's pressing that A button. Does go for the down smash. It won't quite connect. Bayonetta now up to 123%. But you got to be afraid just about at any percent against the Bayonetta, because like we just saw, she can really hold your hand and carry you all the way up to the blast zone herself.
Yeah, so as Farambis is using those double jumps up in the top blast zone, you have to be careful, because otherwise, here we go once again, Chris. One strong combo up into the top will be enough to close out another stock. Bayo sitting at 136.
Yeah, now Cleveland State with their first stock lead of the night. Farambis looking to take this one, but another combo up to the blast zone, and Farambis can't get that stock. 146% now gone, and Jigglypuff can't survive that. You see the discussion among the team wondering if he can get out.
You could see the wiggle there. They're talking SDI.
Yeah.
SDI on Bayo combos is a thing. You can do it, but it's not exactly the most intuitive, I would say. Multiple multi-hit combos can be SDI'd out of. Some of them can't, but it's like you need to make sure the direction you're going in for the respective combo starters are working in your favor. And maybe we saw a little bit of that early on, but at a certain point it just wasn't working out, as truly between the rage and just the escort to the top. Yes, you could hold at a certain angle to potentially send yourself towards the corner, but even then, I don't know. There's so much that needs to go into play for that.
Yeah, very strong run there out of Chinggis Chumpy, whatever their name was.
I think it was Chimpy at the end.
Chimpy?
Chinggis Chimpy? We'll figure it out when we go into game once again.
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute here, but Chimpus Chimpy
Nailed
here on the Bayonetta. Thank you, production. But okay, so yeah, what a storm back here from Cleveland State to seize control and now put the pedal to the metal and put Shenandoah on their back foot for the first time tonight. Kip now tasked with taking 5 stocks consecutively if SU is to win set 1 here, but this Pac-Man sure is dangerous, and we know that if somebody is to take stocks on this SU roster, Kip tends to be the one to do it.
Yeah, and as we see Kip immediately starting things out with a bit of a combo game himself, we will see Bayonetta able to return it in stride. Bayonetta is going to need to find opportunities to really close out these stocks with escorts up into the top blast zone. Otherwise, we may see a similar situation where it's going to be very difficult for Bayonetta to kill the pack.
Yeah, now Pac-Man up to 97%, and what was our biggest lesson from Tuesday? Maybe Pac-Man does struggle to take stocks. Maybe I spoke too soon, but Bayonetta is still only at 31%. Pac-Man really struggling to find one of his patented combos, but catching some Bayonetta damage along the way. 97% on Pac-Man as he finds a back air center stage, still just looking to establish control, find one of his fruits, sit behind a hydrant. We haven't seen much of that yet until now.
Yeah, as we do see a key charge, and Bayonetta able to find a quick slide, facing the wrong way to utilize those guns this time around, but they may have been able to secure a good amount as the Bayonetta forward smash is able to close out a stock early, and that is the kind of read that you need, is a call out behind the hydrant to really close out a Pac-Man stock early.
Yeah, really smart play by Bayonetta as we do see her lose that stock here. Kip getting his first of 5 theoretically, but I mean, yeah, smart play to sort of call out Kip on the fake safety, right? That Bayonetta has huge smash attacks that can reach beyond the hydrant, so Kip's starting to feel safe after standing behind his hydrant. In places like that, you would get hit by a forward smash. Great knowledge by Chimpus Chimpy here.
Yeah, Chimpus Chimpy doing a good job, but now feeling the pressure once again. Kip, I think, has found a bit of a rhythm starting things off, but one good Bayonetta combo could spell disaster. Here we go. A solid 36% built onto Kip. Won't be enough to KO, but there's that awkward spot. Falling onto the bell this time around will mean that a back air connects and Kip is able to charge yet another.
Yeah, it does find another bell above the hydrant, but the hydrant pushed him away, unable to follow up too much on that one, setting up another hydrant. Bell comes out. Kip certainly trying to hold on to this stock if he can. Does get bailed out by the platform there. Might have been a disastrous Bayonetta combo. Again, Bayonetta jab is very dangerous, but not enough yet as she goes off and witch times the Pac-Man recovery and takes the trampoline from him. That's crazy.
That's evil. That's evil, Chris. I don't like that. That's crazy that that's how much time Kip is stuck in that witch time. But even so, the stock will be traded. Kip sitting at 1, trying to take out one more player. The Bayonetta is gone, but that is a player that you have to take a sigh of relief is off the table.
Yeah, Kip, certainly, you see it on your screen, not happy with that result, and I'm sure he had plenty more, had his eyes downfield, right, sort of looking beyond the Bayonetta and ends up losing 2 stocks to her, so now tasked with a flawless 3 stock against this last player. We don't know who it is yet, but presumably either a Rob or a Snake, and I don't think Pac-Man loves either of those.
No, not really. There's some benefits, I think, to the Snake matchup, maybe. I think the water might be able to push grenades and, like, disrupt the game plan a little bit, but with Rob, that laser is going to stop Kip from throwing down a hydrant and then setting up his game plan. So it's going to be on Cleveland State. Both characters have their benefits. Snake is just very good at taking the stock, will be a good tool to just try and close it out. But I do think that I'd expect the Rob going into this match.
Yeah, well, we will see and we'll let you know as soon as we know, but certainly a tough ask out of Kip here no matter who it is. 3 stocks. We've seen Kip go on incredible runs. Most of them front-ended runs, however, and it's rare that we see Kip in this anchor position and be asked to clutch up and perform without players behind him. But now that is the ask, and we have been told that the incoming player is Snake.
Okay, in my mind, the reason you go Snake here is not only to save the Rob and potentially hide some like matchup knowledge potential, but also you are trying to close out this stock as quickly as possible. It's going to be a lot of explosions and guaranteed damage. It feels like when you play against Snake, it is extremely difficult to walk away with a stock without exploding in the process. You will take upwards of 20 to 40 to 60. Like, it just keeps building and building for every given interaction off of these grenades. So it's a guarantee. It's a slow burn, but I do think that there's a lot working in Cleveland State's favor, sending in a character that will just inherently build percentage.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's going to be chaos on the stage, and that's where Snake thrives. So Cleveland State with an opportunity to pull up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. NACE playoffs round 1. Heihachi making an appearance, potentially an omen, potentially a sign of good faith. We will see. We'll see the results here soon as Kip does catch a grenade. Galaga comes out but's unable to follow up on it because this is the Snake game plan. He will not cross the halfway point until now, I guess. He got bored, but now eating some of his own grenade damage, and Kip reestablishes his control.
Yeah, here's the big thing. Look how slow Kip is playing this, saying, hey, I will let you pull all the grenades in the world, and there's that guaranteed percentage, but it's going back into the face of Snake because Kip is playing this a little bit slower, trying to dance around these grenade setups, instead looking for keys and stuff to close out these stocks, as we see back airs coming out, trying to punish the high recovery from Snake.
Yeah, this is where if Pac-Man had a projectile that he could throw straight up as well, you might see a bit more kill threat onto this Snake, but a lot of Pac-Man's game is this horizontal aspect. Now, Snake, off stage, has to try to blast himself back onto stage, but at way too high of a percent, can't make it back, and Kip does get one.
Yeah, but there we see a grenade pulled and walking back towards Kip. Kip having to eat just a little bit more percent. Didn't eat much the first stock, but this is a dangerous spot to be in because you are, again, dealing with guarantees. It's very possible, but we need to see more of the game plan we saw the first go around. A couple of good combos and then backing away from the grenades.
Yeah, you have to credit Kip. He is doing a great job so far at avoiding the damage and finding his own where he can. He does take a couple explosives there. Snake blows himself up. I mean, this is the Snake game plan. You said it. Trade damage as much as possible. The problem is Cleveland State has the stock advantage. They have stocks to work with, so he can hurt himself in exchange. Gets grabbed, and here comes that Nikita missile. Pac-Man forced to try and recover around it, but unable to do so. That thing has some crazy tracking and can follow you wherever you go. Cleveland State taking set number 1 here in NACE Playoffs Round 1.
Yeah, it's a tough start, but it does give Shenandoah the information they need. We saw that the answer for Shenandoah this go-around was Willie into Aegis, Farambus into Bayo, and then Kip was thrown in to try and finish things up. Like, no matchup preference whatsoever, it's just try to close things out. Problem is that going into this, the Pyra-Mithra matchup caught a couple of good hits that just caused some problems, and the Bayonetta combos were hitting in just the right spot where they were starting above the ledge and were able to escort Jigglypuff all the way up to the top, and it just spelled disaster. Going into this next series, those are things that you can change. You can play a more grounded game against the Bayonetta where you're using a lot more short hops and trying to space out that way, as well as for the Pyra-Mithra, you can find opportunities to really close out the stocks that way. Maybe you do save Willie for that Bayo, because they did trade 1-for-1, but I don't know. I think it makes more sense to try and run back those matchups, but with the knowledge that you had now.
Yeah, plenty of knowledge on the table both ways, as well as Cleveland State does get through all 4 players for SU, so they know exactly what they want as well, and that's the beauty of crew battles. And that leads us to this moment as well, where we saw SU sort of struggle at times, was the opening picks against Tuesday matchup. William and Mary, excuse me. This first pick was a huge deal and a huge swing of momentum for both sides, and the mind games really started to come in. So yes, while we see SU probably starting to develop a strategy, I'm sure Cleveland State has one in response. Maybe they don't like the Young Link matchup into Igloo. Maybe Igloo doesn't like the Young Link matchup either, and we see a completely new first 2 characters. Who knows?
Yeah, but the big thing is that between today's matches and yesterday's matches, Igloo is probably the most consistent player so far. He has had, on average, 3 to 4 stocks every go-around, and that may not be matchup dependent. It could be that instead, someone else goes in against this Young Link, and then Igloo is saved for someone else, someone a little bit more problematic, just because it does seem like he's kind of in that like heat mode. He's very ready to keep things going.
Yeah, and well, we will see, but there's also the looming question of we didn't find a spot for Jigglypuff either. I mean, the part of this strategy dissolves to, individual matchup we like, individual matchup we may want to avoid, and pocket a player as long as possible until we know that the issue is behind us. But it looked against Bayonetta like that was maybe not how SU wanted that, or at least drew that up as playing out. Maybe they don't like any of the other matchups, but that is a looming question of who is going to... Where does Jigglypuff fall into this lineup?
Yeah, I do feel like you run it back, right? Because the early phases of that matchup look
It's true. Yeah, the first 30, 40 seconds of that game did look Jigglypuff favored, I will say.
Yeah, it was just finding ways to close the stock. A fear of offstage Bayonetta, which makes sense. Like, Bayonetta in the air should be intimidating, but the recovery for Bayonetta is a lot of upward spin and that like diagonal kick move, which you can space out to beat with Jigglypuff forward airs and back airs. Even the nairs, I think, beat it out a couple of times. It's just a matter of that confidence. Playing off stage to those strengths could be enough to really keep that going.
Yeah, so we'll see if it does get it done, but I believe we are getting a little preview here of our potential matchup. It looks like the matchup that we will be starting with, and it looks like it's going to be Farumbus starting the team off here going up against the Pyramithra. How do you feel about that?
It's worrying. It's worrying less because of the traditional stuff you would worry about with Jigglypuff, where it comes to like sword game versus my limbs. Like Jigglypuff doesn't have big limbs, but they do tend to take up a good amount of space. I do think a good combo game and bringing Pyramithra, like you might be able to escort Pyramithra into the blast zone with Jigglypuff. I think what I worry about is this Pyramithra player in particular switches to Pyra really early every time. It is, I get 40% and then I am on Pyra. That could work in your favor because suddenly Foresight is off the table. You can get a nice forward air string and after you take the 40-some odd percent. But you got to understand where you're, like, what approach you want going into this. What is your game plan? Is it to potentially deal with the Mithra up until the point, or are you going to sit on this Pyra? As we see here, they're starting with the Pyra, Chris.
Yeah, very interesting decision, and I did actually hear Igloo behind me say if they start Pyra, and I didn't hear the rest of that sentence, but it almost sounds like SU saw this coming, and I wonder why. I wonder if Pyra has certain interactions, or maybe it's the shield breaks, maybe it's some other factor that I'm not seeing or thinking of in this moment. But yeah, starting Pyra, certainly an interesting decision, but you have to think probably at least partially due to the weight and floatiness of Jigglypuff.
Yeah, even so, though, you could guarantee that percent on Mithra. I feel like that is such an incredibly valuable tool. But for now, right now, the Pyra is just going for a lot of aerial game, trying to get Jigglypuff to follow. Will be able to find the up air to close out the first stock, and it will immediately go back onto those platforms to start the aerial game once again. As we see, Farumbus going for a quick combo, getting a little bit of damage going. Does take an extra 40, but will find an opportunity to get back onto the stage. The back air catching the DI the wrong way. Into the forward air, Farumbus evening out the stock count.
Yeah, more than willing to trade blows there as he finds the kill on a mostly recovery-less Aegis player, right? This character is pretty limited when it comes to getting back on stage. So now we see the game plan return.
I'm sorry, I see Pyra doing jumps on platform and going for down airs, and I have read this book multiple times and it angers me, Chris. It drives me nuts seeing a player go for that over and over because it works. It can find opportunities to just keep it going. As we go back to it right now. Ready? A couple of down airs. Going from one platform to the other. Here we go to the other one. Oh, there's a down air, Chris. Look at that game plan. Isn't it crazy? There's the down air. It connects. It goes into the up air. That's how you play Pyra. And there's the taunt to follow.
Yep, it really is that simple when it comes to characters at the top of the tier list. That's what makes Aegis so strong. And another taunt, they are certainly making their presence felt, trying to play the mental game, and we'll see if it works. Farumbus looking rather unfazed so far as he keeps hitting that shield, trying to find whatever blows he can. Forward smash does not connect, and we return to the platform.
It annoys me, Chris, but even so, it does work, as we do see a double jump burned, getting a little bit of value there as Farumbus gets a good grab game going, getting the pressure, swapping to the Mithra for the first time this series to use the recovery. Now a little bit of the combo game. Nope, back to the Pyra. Will they jump to the platform and go for a down air? Chris, if I was a gambling man, I would be making a lot of money right now.
An awful lot as they do catch Farumbus once again, but now the down airs continue to come out. Farumbus avoiding them pretty successfully so far. A couple offstage interactions too of weaving it out of these down air hitboxes. The up smash does not connect. Farumbus is able to make it back to stage. Pyramithra now up to 90% as well. I don't know if that's back air territory for Jigglypuff, but again, few off-stage recovery options. Jigglypuff now with an opportunity, doesn't get caught there as Pyramithra does make it to the ledge, saving Farambus from a massive explosion there, but now both players are over 100%. Farambus playing the horizontal game.
Yeah, and understandably so, playing it back. Pyro sitting back too, saying, hey, you have to approach me. Even so, look at this. The good pound will find an opportunity into the forward smash. David Farambus returning things, saying, enough of this. What are you going on about?
Yeah, statement play there out of Farambus. Tired of the taunts, tired of the mental game, this one-dimensional down air string that we've seen out of Dreamless. Farambus wants none of it, and he's not afraid to break your shield for it. We see another pound come out. Dreamless finding a lot of shield damage so far, but Farambus does make it back to the ledge, able to shield that one, so he'll survive another day. 18% racked up, and he finds his first down air. Here comes another Farambus combo.
As we do see the swap to Mithra, feeling the pressure of the Jigglypuff and looking for an opportunity to KO. It is understandable. Oh, hold up, Chris. Wait. Look for it. As we see the pound follow-up, it won't connect this time around. Jigglypuff had a high percentage. I don't think that would have worked out for the rest setup, and I think Farambus acknowledged it. But look at the game plan. We do see a grab into the spot dodge. Even so, it is 2 stocks to 3, and a very good start for Shenandoah.
Yeah, what a bounce back from Farambus, too. That was a statement matchup, even though he can't get the punish off the second shield break. I agree with you. I think that was just too awkward of a position on stage, and because of percentages, it would have been very hard to find much more from that. So ultimately, can't be disappointed with that. 2 stocks in hand for Farambus. That's 2 more than he had last series, and statistically could have been the difference in set 1. So we'll see if this takes SU over the edge.
I hope those players are watching, because I need to look in the camera when I say this. I do not like that you are going for the down airs on the platforms. It makes me sad. But even so, it works, right? Because of just the nature. It takes up a lot of space, it hits below the platform, and a lot of characters, a lot of players won't find answers to deal with it. You can get a lot of value off of it, and because Jigglypuff is so light, we could see that moment there where they started Pyra. That's just how it works.
Yeah, one-dimensional game plans are becoming a pretty familiar opponent for SU, but every day striving to come out on top. So SU now with a decision to make, and last time it was Willie. That was the decision that was made even before the series started. Was when we saw Aegis, the answer almost had to be Willie. Well, now Farambus kind of surprises everybody and takes 2 stocks off the quotation marks nightmare matchup of the entire team. So now SU has a decision to make. Do you put Willie in and let him take the matchup that we know we like, or do you try to look ahead, maybe a little too far, and get future-oriented?
I think you need to get future-oriented because we're dealing with a one-stock situation. And as much as I think that Willie could just go in, find one grab where they just throw the character on the ground and then like kick him off the stage, do you want to send Willie in for that now? Do you want that opportunity like thrown in to just close out the Pyramithra, or do you want Willie in for a different threat? I think that we could see a potential Snake run back with Willie. I don't think it'll look like the last time we saw Willie play against Snake, where I believe neutral B was pressed, I think, at least 100 times.
I was just about to say, we've seen Willie go into Snake in the past against ODU, another one of these name brand one-dimensional schools, but we that's a matchup that SU has in their back pocket if they need it. Granted, that was extremely niche, and I don't know that it's safe to ask Willie to replicate that, but there's evidence, if nothing else, that Willie can take the Snake matchup. So SU does make their decision, and we have that answer in front of us. Igloo saying, all right, I was able to get 1 stock off this Aegis last time we played, so why not go do it again? Dreamless with 1 stock left in this set 2 of NACE.
Yeah, and immediately starting with the Mithra this time around, trying to use that combo game, get a little bit of percentage build up. I'm expecting at around 40-50% we will see back to the Pyro. Will that be enough to close things out? Or this time around, will they stick to it? No, they do swap to the Pyro to close out the stock, and this will be Igloo's opportunity to try and equalize things. Foresight is off the table, which means a lot of Yoshi's combos can work back in his favor.
Count the down airs too. That's, I believe, the third. We return to the platforms. Doesn't matter if it's Jigglypuff or Yoshi. Make it a fourth. Fourth one connects, and the forward smash also connects. Matchup preference making itself known there as Igloo does lose his first. But last time we saw these two, they traded 1-for-1, and I'm sure that would be fine with Igloo under these circumstances. But that means walking away with this one. 72% now on Dreamless, shielding that one. Able to nair out of it, but can't find much more as we return to the down air game.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I'm glad you're keeping count now, Chris. Frankly, that's how you play it, right? There's the double jump armor coming in clutch to get Igloo out of that situation, because it would have KO'd. But we do see this Pyra Mithra player is sitting into shield a lot, and because of that, it's working against them. The up smash lag will lead into a Yoshi forward smash to close things out. A 1-for-1 trade, but you said it, Chris. It's not a horrible ask, especially when Igloo has been so consistent in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, this is where, I mean, we said that this was going to be a future-oriented decision, and now that's how you have to look at it. SU getting the, I think, one of, if not the biggest issue, off the table. Aegis is now behind them. So what does Cleveland State throw into a Yoshi? Well, maybe it's the Young Link again, because we know that Igloo doesn't love that matchup either, but either way, it actually looked a lot better than we expected the first time around.
Yeah, the Young Link matchup would be a good way to bridge, like a nice, solid, like 2 to 3 stocks, probably like back and forth trade. I wouldn't expect Bayo, because I think Yoshi will just double jump out of Bayo combos and just sit there and be like, yeah, like what are you going to do? I'm a dinosaur. I just do that. But even so, there could be that. Maybe you send in Snake now. Or Rob. Maybe you try to zone out the dinosaur. There's an argument for any of those, but we did receive word that it will be the Young Link going into this, which means that they are trying to sort of bridge this, try and even things out. Yes, potentially sacrificing a couple of stocks off of the Young Link, but in exchange getting this dino out of play.
Yeah, now Igloo with an opportunity here, if nothing else, to try and bring this as close as possible. You'd love to see Igloo walk away with 3 stocks if you're an SU fan, but down 1 to start puts him in a bit of an awkward position, and you see him going for moves like that. We see Igloo with a lot of situational awareness in these crew battles. He's great about knowing when he can be aggressive, when he needs to be aggressive, and when he doesn't. And so we see a lot of options like that, trying to sort of steal stocks early against characters where it might just work, but not working this time around as he has to work his way all the way through it. But one way or another, he does secure the stock, whether it's cheese or not. He works his way through it, and we are tied at 8 stocks.
Yeah, that's a good way to equalize things, Chris. I would have assumed that this matchup would work a little bit more against Yoshi, but Igloo doing a good job of taking the information from the last series and adapting, getting a ton of value off of a couple of good strings, a couple of good recovery callouts, and the percentage just kept building. It was a great way to close that out as we continue things now. Boomerang connects, but no follow-up from the Young Link. Now, Igloo throwing a couple of eggs, trying to hold on to the stock a little bit, potentially getting Young Link to commit to something. Maybe that hook shot. The couple of times this Young Link has thrown out the hook shot, Igloo has been there to cover it, and that may be the in that Igloo is looking for.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Igloo does get caught by the boomerang, able to jump out of the aerial, but does fall into a Young Link up smash. So Igloo loses his first stock of this matchup specifically, and now only 1 left to work with. Gets caught by the up B, and the percentages are starting to even out. Colony's really going on a run here. Even percentages out with one stock left on this Yoshi.
It was a lot of just a breathing room issue, Chris. I think that Colonies was really struggling to find a good time to get out of the Yoshi game plan, the first stock, but now that we're seeing their opportunity, a little bit of invincibility to start their next stock, will be able to keep things going. The Yoshi double jump is able to make it back, going for the grab, but no combo follow-up. Tries to find the back air to close things out. The boomerang into forward air combo doesn't work out this time around, but there's that pressure game. Youngling taking a second to really keep that pressure going, but even so, not able to find an opportunity to close things out just yet.
Yeah, now SU really on their heels. Igloo now up to 140%. Bomb can't connect, but Colonies able to get out of that one, and we haven't seen the success from the Igloo that we saw in the first stock. He does get a side B off there. I have to think that was a misinput, but finds the Nair out of the shield as both of these players climb higher and higher up the percentage ladder, and up air just straight up kills from the platform. So Igloo does find his second. Now Younglink looking to just close this out, and Igloo running out of room for error. 162% and an up tilt launching that much. You have to think that this one's getting close.
Yeah, and understandably so, Chris. Igloo has found the 3 stocks needed to really just keep that momentum in Shenandoah's pocket. Yes, they were behind to start things off, but if you're going to go behind, you want things to be as equal as possible. But even so, Igloo's holding on to the stock for as long as possible. Does not want to go down just yet, as he finds it down there, trying to drag Younglink down, but will find a couple of good hits. The grab into the up throw will be able to close it out, as Igloo is smiling, saying he knew what he wanted. He was trying to end that Younglink at 210. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, laughed that one off. He knew he almost had him, but ultimately, Colony's not falling for it, able to fall out of it. So we move on to our next man up, Kip. Locking in, sitting down, ready to take on and finish off this Younglink. SU still down 1 stock in the set score, but we'll see, right? This is, again, where you come to expect dangerous things to happen, especially from these next 2 players out of SU.
Yeah, and if you're going to keep 2 players in reserve, these are the ones that, if you're on the other side, you do have to worry about, because you need answers. That has been the theme of the semester. If you don't have answers for Pac-Man, if you don't have answers for Kazuya, or Terry, frankly, it becomes problematic. You will lose stocks fast and hard. Kip, on average, averaging 3 stocks to 1, if given that initial momentum. I mean, that's like a whole other mind game side of things, because now 2 potentially problematic matchups are off the table. Aegis and Younglink are gone. Now, Younglink has 1 stock left.
Has 1 stock, yeah.
Yes. So, if Younglink does go down, who do you send in? Like, is it the Rob? Is it the Snake? Do we run that back? Do we see Willie camping out a Snake once again? We will have to see.
Yeah, I guess we'll get there when we get there, but for now, the matchup in front of us will be Kip on his Pac-Man against this 1 stock Younglink. Can Kip finish the job and tie up the stock count at 6, or will they look to trade? I'm sure Colony is looking to find however much he can in this moment to at least lighten the load for the rest of his team. But we load into Kalos, and a couple forward airs and a Nair later. 24%, Kip is on the board.
Yeah, Kip already getting a solid game plan started, looking to use the Galaga, calling out the Younglink landing, as Younglink is using a lot of forward airs and Nairs to approach. This time around using the boomerang to get rid of the fire hydrant, but that is going to be very important in this matchup, is trying to get around it. And I don't know if Younglink has great answers to deal with the fire hydrant, but even so, I mean, this is how a majority of this matchup will go, unless Younglink finds that one in. And even so, the combo game that we have seen hasn't amounted to much more than like 20 to 30% when this Younglink gets a good hit in.
Yeah, Kip now only taking his first damage of the match. A neutral B and a little bit of chip damage here and there, but only at 28%, not feeling much pressure. The key comes out and makes the hydrant connect. Bell comes out next, as Younglink at 90% certainly needs to be afraid of that thing, able to parry it, so it dies off. The uppies straight into the hydrant. Kip looks for a forward smash, but it goes right into this Younglink shield, so the game plan slows down. Kip just looking for his one in to try and finish this stock off. Pulls the apple. We know that that can do wonders for Kip, but it won't do it just yet.
As we do see, Younglink 101, Kip charging up to another Bell, is going to try and find something else, but was caught charging, which means that it is dropped, and a couple more chip damage hits will keep the pressure going. Younglink looking for pressure game off of the fire hydrant, but won't find the opportunity. Kip holding down shield, able to get the game plan back on, but Younglink finds a good nair, doesn't lead to too much more, as Younglink is sitting at 130, and just about anything may be able to KO.
Yeah, and here come all the projectiles from Younglink. I think the pressure's starting to get to him, and he knows that if he can get a stock off Kip, how big of a deal that would be for the rest of the team. But he does get caught by the Bell. Kip dashes a little too far past him, so he can't get the grab. Hydrant connects, and it is parried now 170% on this Younglink. What was the lesson of Tuesday? That Pac-Man can struggle to close stocks, but not this Pac-Man. Kip able to go in and take care of business and tie the stock count at 6.
Yes, there it is. A solid performance, able to secure that game plan, get things going 6-6. Now is that question we were talking about before. Younglink is off the table, and you have to deal with either Bayo or Snake in the background. Rob could also be in the background somewhere, hovering, waiting for an opportunity to strike, but the last time around, Kip was in. The answer was Snake.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, that was different circumstances as well. We talked about how the one stock left on Kip probably, at least to us, seemed to play a factor in that decision, seeing if they were able to trade percentage as much as possible until Kip just eventually inevitably died. So we'll see, right, if that was the decision or the reasoning behind that decision, or maybe, yeah, we do see this Rob come out that you predicted the first time with that laser that could cause issues for the hydrant. Hard to say.
Yeah, either way, it's a projectile game. It'll be a relatively slow-paced matchup. I'm curious if Kip is going to have ways to deal with Snake recovering high. I think we didn't see much of that because Kip wanted to not risk the reversal when he had one stock remaining. We could potentially see punishes all the way up there, whether it's Bell game, apples being sent at weird angles, or a couple other options. We've seen Kip throw the Galaga off of a regrab up into the heavens, and Snake's recovering high, thinking nothing of it, only to die off of the top blast zone. You just got to be aware of it.
Yeah, a lot can happen in a Pac-Man Snake matchup, that's for sure. And if nothing else, there's going to be a lot of hitboxes on your screen. I mean, this is going to be very chaotic, and we are seeing the stage pick, if nothing else, and it's small battlefield. So if Snake is to come out, tight quarters for Pac-Man to deal with, but on the other hand, we are now seeing that Chimpus Chimpy making his return to the crew battle here on this Bayonetta.
Yeah, and this is another thing that I don't dislike because of the one witch time interaction that we saw. That is Bayonetta down tilt. She can hold it and keep using her guns. It doesn't.
3 of them didn't break the hydrant, though.
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot. It does like itty bitty chip damage. Kip took it through the hydrant. Bayo was just trying to play it slow, but it's not going to amount to too much. I think it was more of a general statement of like, if you want to camp around it, I will be ready for you. But look at this platform game already. Look at how Bayo is already trying to punish Kip by having Kip follow up onto the platform and get a combo game going up there, because Kip may die even at that point.
Yeah, we see the matchup preference awfully green here for Kip, which kind of surprises me because of things like that. I don't know the exact name of that move, but the butterflies.
Beyond time. Which Beyond time? I forget the actual name myself.
Yeah, because it's not Witch Time, that's the down B, but
right.
But the ability to fall out of combos like that is, I would think, pretty anti-Pac-Man, but Kip certainly disagreeing as the Hydrant bounces in free space. Kip gets grabbed. Bayonetta now up to 140%. Those bullets not able to finish the job. Kip able to make it back off stage with little to no distraction from Chimpus Chimpy, opting to not go off stage against Pac-Man. Probably a good idea, but you'd think Bayonetta would feel fine with that. Forward smash comes out, nails the Hydrant, but doesn't nail a Pac-Man.
Yeah, the water coming in clutch there, pushing Kip away just a little bit. Obviously, it is a service of the public to have your fire hydrant save your life, both in Smash Bros. In real life. But even so, we do see Kip lose that stock there, going for a fire hydrant setup. Bayonetta burning the double jump to get around it as Kip throws out the bell, tries to get another hydrant going, but feels the pressure to go back off stage.
Yeah, Kip's still looking to take his first. He finds his grab in the back throw, not quite enough. So the bell comes out. Can't quite hit off the ledge. Bayonetta with a re-grab, and at that high percent, Kip has all the time in the world to walk up and find his forward smash. So you see that chip damage. You're right. That does deal damage through the Hydrant, so if nothing else, just racking up percentage. A good look from Chimpus Chimpy here, but Pac-Man now re-establishing the Hydrant and finding his projectiles.
Man, what is up with Ohio players and having good Bayonettas? Ooh, what a bad landing, Chris. I was about to flatter the Bayonetta, and instead the caster curse comes through and immediately eats a ton of percentage, calling out the air dodges. These witch times were getting so much value, but now it's just kind of getting awkward.
Yeah, Kip's starting to settle in here and really find his rhythm. Chimpus Chimpy now on the back foot for the first time in what feels like a while, especially after wreaking such havoc in set 1. I mean, Chimpus Chimpy on this Bayonetta really was the problem child for SU. I forget exactly how many stocks they took, but I'll give you a hint, it was a lot. So SU looking relatively unfazed by this Bayonetta pick so far. Kip now up to 87%, but not feeling the threat just yet. The forward smash comes out, and the end lag absolutely confirms that Kip will find a grab.
Yeah, here comes that bell, Chris. It does connect in the right spot, which will lead into a Pac-Man back air. One apple thrown into a hydrant setup, but you're dashing into apples, and it's comboing into hydrants.
Wow, disaster strikes for Cleveland State. Bayonetta only finding one and going out like that. A tough break for Chimpus Chimpy, as now Kip with so much momentum and the team's energy behind him moves on to Cleveland State's final player.
A very strong performance and a capitalization of little interactions. One good Galaga led to upwards of 70%, calling out the air dodge into a forward smash hit, closes out that second Bayonetta stock beautifully. And now this time around, calling out another habit that you see a lot. Bayonettas love to recover on stage with that slide move, and it's because it just offers so much. You're able to get back onto stage with a hitbox. It makes sense, but if you're caught in the wrong spot, disjointed hitbox, or frankly, just any projectile will be able to deal with it, so Kip covering options. Hydrant is tossed out, apple thrown up, and Bayonetta wanting to rely on old reliable just doesn't work out.
Textbook performance out of Kip on the Pac-Man, and now you have to think, what comes out for Cleveland State, assuming it's Snake, but we know that this Rob is on their roster, and I think both of those characters could cause issues and go on a run. The scary thing about Snake going on a run is exactly why we said he thrived when up stocks. He hurts himself like a lot. So now the tables have been turned, and it is this Snake player for Cleveland State that will have to go on a 5-stock run to respond to SU here and close this out.
It's possible, Chris. Snake is a very scary character. Is the kind of character that you do have to keep an eye on because of how he deals with the game plan. As we see grenades pulled, he can play it real slow and try to rack up the damage, doing a good job of pulling grenades and then walking back towards the Pac-Man so that if the trade happens, Pac-Man's taking damage too. But Kip doing a good job of spacing it out means that Snake is the one eating all this percentage right now and is not getting too much in return.
Yeah, it does get hit by the bell there. Kip unable to find much punish, gets hit by another bell. So story of this game really staying true. Racking up percentage is what Snake does, but this is certainly not how we saw it happening. 112% now on this Ryuvi, Snake player for Cleveland State, with 3 stocks left, but little to no success to point to as he continues to only hurt himself. 14% on Kip so far, and not much to show for it as he explodes in the air. I mean, what is going on?
We talked about it, Chris. If you're going to play Snake, if you're going to keep going for these grenade pulls and try to get your opponent to fight you while you've got one going, problem is that someone's going to explode, and it doesn't always have to be the opponent.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't that time, as now Kip even stocks in this matchup, even percentages in these stocks. Problematic for Snake, as he is able to find a bit of a combo there. Gallagher comes out in response. Kip forced to recover at an uncomfortable angle. The up smash just weaves around Kip. That could have been disastrous, as we all know how hard that thing hits, but Snake continuing to hurt himself on a stage all by himself, as Kip able to make his way back finally.
Yes, and that is going to be the big thing. When you have time for your setups, it makes sense to time them specifically. You can just pull grenades for the sake of pulling grenades and have that be your initial setup game plan, as well as getting good opportunities for Nikita. That is the other side of that game plan, is that move can do so much, but a hard roll read will mean that a bell connects. It won't KO this time around, but another bell will connect, and this one will be able to KO as the stock count begins to even out. And Chris, it's looking like a similar story to last series, but on the other foot.
Yeah, the window is quickly closing for Cleveland State here. Snake down to 1 stock, and you said it. I mean, this is eerily similar to what we saw last time, but Snake in a significantly worse position, I must say, than Kip was in last time. We'll see. Now, down 40% so far. Good news for Snake in this stock, but will it be enough to walk away as he falls into another one of his grenades on the platform? The up smash takes care of the hydrant, but Kip jumps off the ledge, finds a nair, 100% on Pac-Man, looking dangerously close to dying, but we know how deceptively heavy both of these characters can be. The up tilt does connect and actually kills at 100. That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, Pac-Man isn't the lightest character, but up tilt on Snake is very strong.
It is,
and
yeah.
Snake did find the opportunity, a very good roll-in to sort of call out the projectile game of Kip. A lot of bells were connecting earlier on, so that was a very good just like last-minute punish on, yeah, you think I'm getting hit by all of these just because, no, I'm aware of it too. Let's roll in. Let's get this punish when it matters most, and it will lead to Snake closing out another player, but at what cost? 1 stock left and a Willie entering the fray.
Yeah, again, eerily uncomfortable situation for Cleveland State. I mean, this is certainly not where you'd like to be under these circumstances. But the good news for Cleveland State is that they were able to take the first set. I mean, they can afford to drop this. So while this would be nice, I mean, this is certainly hard for Snake to come out of, not the end of the world. The pressure sort of off your shoulders, even just a little bit, knowing that if worst case scenario, you've got 12 stocks behind this.
Yeah, and I do believe we are seeing the character pick of choice. Kazuya Mishiba will be returning to deal with the Snake matchup. Will it be as fast-paced as we saw it last time, Chris? I kind of hope not. But as funny as it was the last time we saw it, I do think that Willie is planning to just try and close things out and get us moving to the next series to try and even things out. But Snake could find an opportunity to equalize things. Kazuya's got to get close, and Snake can play it slow.
Yeah, certainly can, and we know that Kazuya is limited in the ranged game, but we see a return to form. Flashbacks to ODU here from Willie, as he's more than willing to sit on the other side of midfield and press his B button.
Okay, as much as we are giving it crap, I do think that this time around, Snake feeling the pressure to approach may work in Willie's favor. I mean, it worked well last time around. The laser game, playing it slow and getting Snake to either approach or just explode on his own grenades. Either way, I mean, look at this. A couple of lasers. It's already dealing less than 10, Chris. It's just adding a good amount of value, and Willie can play it slow. A good grab into the grenade will cause that to break the grab, which is crazy. But even so, now kill button online. Snake will be able to look for the back airs and the up tilts to potentially close it as he grabs a grenade into the button. It won't. Oh, it does KO. Oh, I don't know where he was holding, Chris. That doesn't seem right.
That shocks me, but ultimately a result that I think most of us were expecting given the circumstances. Willie goes in, takes care of business, and we have a tied series at 1-1. This is going the distance. SU certainly making it known that they're not afraid to play as many sets as possible, going to set 3 on Tuesday and now today. Not afraid of long nights, but we'll see if they're able to come out on top here tonight as the difference maker.
Oh, yeah. And that was a strong performance just across the board. We saw a lot of great adaptations. That's what was needed. The first go-around, it felt like Shenandoah wanted certain matchups for certain given characters, but they didn't work in the way that Shenandoah drafted them up. This time around, it plays out differently. We see a bit more adaptation where now Shenandoah says, okay, let's shift up just a couple of the matchup preferences and go again, and it works. Igloo, again, being so incredibly consistent in his play, was able to bridge out the stocks and keep the game plan going solid as the other players were given the opportunities to really figure out which matchups they wanted to close things out.
Yeah, and close things out they did. Shenandoah taking care of business, a strong response after a bit of a rattling opening series. Excuse me, Cleveland State, a very strong team. Do not get me wrong. 2 losses and a deceptive 2 losses. This team should not have 2 losses. And I believe SU also leaving groups with 2 losses, 1 to ODU, 1 to FIU. So I guess both 2-loss teams seeded 1 off of each other. Worth mentioning as well, one of the 2 losses that Cleveland State has is to Stony Brook, who SU has competitive history with falling short more than a couple times to Stony Brook. So, yeah, 2 very evenly matched teams going the distance. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm just not.
And yet, I love what I'm seeing, because if you pick like these sorts of characters that we're seeing from Cleveland, you can play them incredibly slow. You can play them to one game plan and not change it. But we have seen a lot of good adaptations across the board. Like, there have been a lot of great moments. Again, another good Bayonetta player in Ohio. I don't know what it is about Ohio and good Bayos. Like, Geist is already, like I've gotten my butt kicked by that guy, like, plenty of times. But even so, like, it's just nice to see the game plans adapt to what they need. I do think the biggest sort of change that should go in for Cleveland, because it was relatively even, we saw that Pyramithra player get a little too, a little bit of a big head, start throwing out a couple taunts, and their shield broke. And they lost a stock for it. They could have walked away with another stock in hand. That could have changed a lot. But because of that, I do think a lot of it could come down to just having a short sit down with the players saying, hey, we need the series on the line. We're in tournament. I get it. I love it. You're making content. Love it for the stream. Appreciate y'all. But we're in a series. You really got to lock it.
Yeah. And not only is this any series, I mean, this is playoffs. This is the season on the line for both of these teams. This is a single elimination bracket. There is no redemption after this. If either of these teams fall here, I believe that will do it, at least for their NACE season. So, a lot on the line here, 12 stocks ahead of both of these teams. And yeah, you have to think that now every player is going to have to be at their absolute best. And the biggest question in my mind is, do you even send Aegis out first? Because I think that caught a lot of us off guard, how well Jigglypuff did into that matchup specifically.
And that could be that answer, is now you save Jigglypuff for the Pyramithra, and try to deal with that. Or, like, even so, like, Young Link going in the first time around did good up against Igloo's Yoshi. It was a strong performance. It had it was a 3-2, but, like, I don't know, it's shaky. There's a lot of value to saving that Young Link too. I'm curious to see either argument, but I do think a lot of it will come down to a hard read on either side. Who wants to send in who feels the pressure to change. It feels like the team that loses should feel the pressure to change, but now we're in that 1-1 spot where both sides will feel the pressure to try and mix things up.
Yeah, both teams have seen a winning formula, but can you replicate that? Well, both teams are going to try as both teams revert back to their winning formula. Far Rhombus will be the starter for SU, similar to what we saw in set 2, but now Cleveland State making an adjustment back to the original game plan, the one that worked for them. Young Link starting this set off for Cleveland State.
Yeah, very good up air string, or a very good aerial string into the up B will be able to secure a good amount of percentage, but even so, it will be on Far Rhombus to sort of find opportunities to catch this Young Link swinging like there. Colonies caught swinging just a little too long, will have to recover back onto the stage and takes about 50% in return, as now Pound into Nair is keeping that pressure going. Colonies, a kind of player, the character specifically, doesn't deal well under pressure, and because of that, it's going to be on Far Rhombus that once they find their opening to run away with it, but for now, one stock goes down.
Yeah, good stuff there, good damage from this Young Link, as now Far Rhombus takes him all the way off stage, but with Bomb, not much threat there, so Colonies makes his way back to stage, 90%, and that shield getting awfully low. We see a lot of those pounds come out from Far Rhombus. We saw one work out last series, but one stock still looking, excuse me, Far Rhombus still looking to find his first as the combo strings really start to come out from Colonies here.
Yeah, Colonies is doing a good job of dancing around this game plan, but Far Rhombus doing a good job of surviving off of that DI. That up air is strong and it can KO pretty early. We do see Colonies go for an aggressive up smash. It will be punished with the forward tilt. Jigglypuff dash attack going off stage, trying to get Young Link to feel the pressure. Again, a good nair, sending Young Link down, but the reverse up B doesn't connect in the right spot, but the up tilt will be able to punish that recovery as Young Link is doing a good job of dancing around the approaches.
Yeah, Far Rhombus now down to his last stock, still looking to find his first. 118% now on this Young Link. Certainly kill percentage. You have to think one back air, a well-placed back air could finish the job here, but still racking up percent. Young Link doing a great job of just keeping hitboxes out on the stage. Very similar game plan to what we see Snakes try to do all the time. Far Rhombus now off stage, having to avoid a bomb at the ledge, gets caught with a jab and a down tilt. The forward air, excuse me, connects, and Far Rhombus goes down, bows out, and Cleveland State starting off strong.
Yeah, it was a hard call, and it does feel like Shenandoah made the decision that if Far Rhombus was in first, we don't feel the pressure to change it. And that's how most crew battles go, is a back and forth of someone needs to change it, usually someone doesn't feel the pressure to. Shenandoah last time around didn't feel the pressure to, but it doesn't pay off this time around, and because of that, you're in a pretty bad deficit going into this. Someone needs to take out this Young Link, and I don't know who it is.
Yeah, but task is, the road is laid out ahead of them, if nothing else. It will have to be 4 stocks at least, 4 stocks on average for each player remaining from Shenandoah. Yes? 12 stocks, right? My math?
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
It's a lot.
It's a late
tall
night
ask.
here, folks. But yeah, averaging more than a player every time you go in is certainly not how SU would like to be positioned with your season on the line. But unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves. And now, there's a full Young Link ahead of us. If nothing else, SU knows the character that they have to take care of first. And so far, through tonight, I don't know that we've seen anybody really stand out as a Young Link counter pick, other than Igloo did look pretty strong in their head-to-head. He was able to come out on top in their 3-3 stock matchup the last time they played each other. But can you count on that again? I guess that's up to the guys behind us.
Yeah, in my mind, I think there are a couple of storylines we need to change on this desk. One is that Bayonetta Pac-Man matchup. I think that it was problematic Series 1, but that we're placing a lot of emphasis on that witch time interaction that won't work unless Kip is at a high percent. I think Kip was in too much witch time because he was at 150 for that to go.
That and just the forward smash that
Right.
Kip avoided every other time the second time they played. Like, it was little things the first time.
Yeah, so now that part of the matchup is changed. At the same time, you have Willie going in to deal with the Kazuya. Or the Willie going to deal with the snake on Kazuya, excuse me. But that has worked out a couple of times. It's a matter of, do you think that that is the way, is that your path forward? Is that your best option into that character? Because we're seeing the same characters. Rob has not made an appearance here tonight, so if you're ready for it, that means that you have a pretty solid list in front of you of what to be ready for and what you should be playing around. It could mean that Willie is now playing against that snake matchup on a character that shouldn't like dealing with that matchup. But even so, Willie has definitely found answers for it. It's shaky.
Right, and another Willie factor here is that big saving grace from set 2, where SU was able to come out on top, was that Aegis was mostly taken care of by Far Rhombus. That is now no longer a factor. So this sort of quote-unquote nightmare matchup for the entire team still on the table, and Willie sounds like the one answer. So the Willie card may be forced before we expect it. We'll get there when we get there, but Igloo, the response for Shenandoah, now down 3 stocks and a tall mountain to climb. Does just fall out of that up B there, but we are well underway. You see the matchup preference on the left side of your screen, just kind of all right. I mean, it's certainly not favorable. We talked to Igloo before this series even started, and it sounded like this was kind of the one he just didn't want of all of them, but now you just don't get to be picky.
Yeah, as Young Link is sent flying off stage, a couple of good nairs will be able to close out that stock, and once again, Chris, Igloo looking good, keeping things going and catching Young Link and shield a lot. You don't see Igloo go for this much of the neutral B unless that Young Link is shielding, and shielding he is as it goes real low off of one good down B, but a boomerang combo into the down air will be able to close out that stock and even things out.
Yeah, killing off the top, a surprise to me for sure, as now we return back to low percents, and Young Link opting to move up, be the one to be the aggressor in this exchange. Kind of surprises me, as online Young Link has all these projectile options that I would think would be the obvious choice, but that's why I'm not playing. Hard read there by Igloo. Big down smash connects. Won't connect that time, it gets shielded. Down B, not enough. Up B goes wide. Igloo can't find the connection off the forward air, so we return back to the stage, but Young Link now over 100%.
Yeah, as we do see Igloo find a good opportunity to get back onto the stage. Igloo has been playing real slow around this Young Link, who has been using a lot of shield to bait out options, and even so, it's been working against him. Igloo using the egg, covering the projectiles, and going for the nair. The nair trading out there, able to send Young Link off stage. Young Link able to recover, but looks for the down air, finds a quick footstool air dodge sort of shenanigan to get back onto the stage. A bomb getting Igloo in the right spot as a nair connects.
Yeah, the nair gets a kill spark, but not enough to finish the job. Good DI out of Colonies, now to 150%, but the back air will never let you survive at that percent. More than enough to find the kill there, but Igloo up to 130%, and we have seen Igloo really thrive at these high percents when he's sort of feeling the need to really hold on to these stocks. It certainly seems like he can. Young Link not with any super intimidating kill throws, but he does go up and find the up air. So trading stocks 2 for 2 so far. Shenandoah still down 3.
Yeah, Igloo's doing a real good job again of taking advantage of that shield game. Colonies is sitting in shield a lot and is feeling the pressure off of these jabs because most of Yoshi's kit is one hit. You can usually just take that hit and then be fine, but Igloo almost playing a grappler approach, using that neutral B to just keep the grab game going, keeping Young Link, who's still sitting in that shield. The pressure is going as the up smash or up special is used, but it won't get a follow-up just now, as we do see Igloo looking to close things out. One Nair connects as Younglink is forced to go off stage, throw the bomb. A couple of eggs traded as he is feeling the pressure once again.
Yeah, Younglink Nair just outright beating one of those eggs to get back on stage and maintain stage presence, if nothing else, with the projectiles now really starting to come out. A sour spot forward air will launch colonies all the way across the screen, 150% now, as Igloo will likely look for one of his many deadly aerials, but Younglink with a similar game plan. We know how early that forward air can kill with neutral bees coming out like that. The up air connects, now Igloo climbing up over 100%.
Yeah, and as these forward airs connects, Igloo looks for the up air and finds it on a shielded trade from that down air. A very aggressive approach from the Younglink, but one that would have easily secured a great spot for Cleveland State. So understandable. You have the lead. You've already taken 5 stocks. Might as well keep it going. But now Igloo has taken the 3, and this player is consistent, Chris. Igloo averages about 3 to 4. And so this is the one player that, if you're Shenandoah, you have to feel pretty calm about right now, still holding on to a stock.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to say. As uncomfortable as it seems to trade stocks like that when you're down this much, that's not bad. I mean, he is one short of the average that will be required of all these players, right? That 4-stock mark to beat. So not a bad showing out of Igloo whatsoever, losing 2 stocks, but getting rid of the Younglink. And now it looks like I just saw the overlay change on our preview screen, and it looks like the next matchup from Cleveland State will be this Aegis.
Okay, so when we've seen this Aegis up against the Yoshi, they usually start on Mithra, get about 2 solid combos in, 40 to 50%, and then swap over to the Pyra. If Igloo's going to find his opening, it's going to be on that Pyra. You obviously don't give percent for free. This isn't no free samples. This isn't Costco, but even so, you are going to have to deal with this game plan going in and kind of adapt accordingly. We've seen a lot of what this Pyramithra player likes to do in these sorts of situations. Are they going to commit to that game plan? Does Igloo have an answer, or is it going to work against them? As we hop into the match, we will see.
Yeah, I've called Igloo the fixer more than once on this desk, and now Igloo with an opportunity to do just that. A big, or I shouldn't say big window, but a window to try and claw some stocks and claw out of this hole that SU has found themselves with their NACE season on the line.
As we do see the foresight value, getting the Pyramithra player out of an awkward situation there, and that's why you should be sticking onto that character as long as possible until you find your opportunity to KO. There's that down air on the platform. Goes for the side special and immediately goes for the game plan once again. Igloo not responding just yet, is looking for an opportunity to follow up, and it looks like there is the opportunity, is on the recovery. The jump up from the platform will be the best option, but a swap back to Mithra this time around means that Dreamless is doing a good job of adapting to the situations and keeping the game plan going as a back air connects in the right spot and will be able to secure a stock off of Igloo.
Okay, well, we are right back to where we were a couple minutes ago. SU down 3 stocks with a full character ahead of them and an opportunity to make a counter pick if they can. If we are looking on the bright side of this situation, right, that is where you need to look. So where is that counter pick in SU's mind? Well, I think you see it on your screen. It's going to have to be Willie coming out of the anchor position.
Yes, it will. I'm going to go back to the quote I wanted to say back at the first series. Riddles has a very interesting quote about dealing with Pyramithra. Someone asked if, would you consider going back to soloing Terry in Smash Bros. Ultimate? And he said no. And the only reason why is as long as Pyramithra exists in this game, I will never drop Kazuya. Yeah. Which is hilarious, but also speaks to your answer potential. When we saw this last time, it was a bit of a back and forth. Both characters have great sort of game plans. And also, if your Pyra is sitting on that platform and is just going to keep throwing those down airs, Kazuya is playing that grounded game. It's not easy for him to get up there and try and approach. So I'm curious to see if Willie has a good option for like stage counter pick as well as finding a good approach, maybe snaking under a platform, maybe a stage with like a longer sort of middle platform to find an opportunity to land on it while Pyra's not covering it with the down air and then punishing accordingly.
Yeah, so you think like a Kalos type beat?
Yeah, like Kalos, Town and City might not be bad. Obviously, it's not a big platform in the middle, but like it's nice. Smashville would be nice. Hollow Bastion.
Fair.
Yeah. FD if it's open. If you leave FD open, we got another problem.
Lol. Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, we have our answer from the Hornets. It will be Willie on his Kazuya. No real surprises there as, yeah, like we said, this is sort of the one and only matchup that we knew of coming into tonight that was, at least on paper, pretty SU favored. So Willie does find his patented grab at 0. Able to continue that a little bit, finding 60% already, but Mithra finding a combo of her own. But that's the difference between these two characters, where these combos look so long and impressive. Willie has to work significantly less hard, or at least less inputs to secure that much percentage.
Yeah, she doesn't get back.
Yep, does go out and defend that ledge with his life. So Willie only up to 50% and finding a great stock there, but the Foresight coming into play.
Yeah, Foresight immediately getting this Pyra/Mithra out of that combo, but now there is no Foresight. You are in for the ride. 2 electrics will connect as Pyra goes off stage this time around, looking for a quick boot to send Pyra off at a very bad angle as that recovery is very detrimental, but they keep recovering onto the platform and going into shield. As the laser connects, they will be able to get back, but an up special on the get up will be able to close things out. And Chris, this might be the opportunity SU needed to even things out.
All right, if nothing else, we know that this is a pretty mental-based player on this Aegis, right? We saw the taunts coming out earlier. They certainly like to feel confident in themselves. Well, now after losing 2 stocks pretty soundedly, probably starting to reel a little bit, as now Kazuya does have the kill button online and looking for those types of reads, trying to get in the head of Dreamless here. Now SU only down 1 stock. The down air connects. I wasn't counting this time around, but one of them finally lands, and Willie will lose his first.
Yeah, and that is understandable. At that percentage, you will, but the electric comes out into the Mithra, and the Mithra Foresight is playing a pretty massive factor in how to deal with this combo game. So now we do see Willie looking for another grab, going for the side special, but the Foresight comes in again. Again, the Foresight is just getting a ton of value, as one quick dragon uppercut will be able to add another 30-some-odd% as Willie goes for another boot. There's the grab.
That's it?
That's a bad angle, Chris, and the bad man gets it to secure 3 stocks in exchange for 1.
All right, well, just like that, SU strikes back and brings it within 1. We knew that that matchup was what SU wanted. We knew that Willie feels confident in it, and sure enough, nothing disappointed there. I mean, that looked pretty Kazuya favored, with the exception of a couple Foresights that gave that Pyra/Mithra some damage. If nothing else, they were able to find their 1 down air from the platform, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want proof of the point that I harp on this desk all the time, on staying on Mithra for as long as it is needed until you are looking for the KO. And don't get greedy with your KOs. Like when it's normal to look for your KO. The amount of times that Mithra was saved from a full Mishima string was more to count on one hand. So you need to take that into account. This is for all the Aegis players at home. Stay on Mithra for a little longer. It'll work. It'll save your life.
Yeah, I mean, that's... If there's a lesson to be learned from tonight, if there was a lesson to be learned from Tuesday, it's that Pac-Man can't find kills. And if there's a lesson to be learned from tonight, it's stay on Mithra. Kiddies, go to school, don't do drugs, stay on Mithra. So, well, with Pyra/Mithra now behind us, again, I've referred to this player as sort of the biggest issue on the roster for Cleveland State a couple times now tonight. Light in the eyes of SU as they find themselves down at 1 stock, but with some pretty serious momentum, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah, and that is what you want, especially with Willie momentum. This guy can run away with games, and so you have to wonder, who is the answer? I would expect a zoner game, right? you would expect to run away from Kazuya Mishima, but the only zoner that we have seen is Snake, and even then it's like a weird, it's a different sort of zoner.
Yeah.
That Nikita can cause problems, but I think we saw the most success in a 1-for-1 trade against that Bayo, and it looks like that is what we're getting.
Yeah, it certainly seems like Cleveland State is in the same mindset as you right now, hearkening back to that very brief matchup we saw these two players play out earlier today. So Willie loading it in. He will SD once, and here come the combos. Both of these characters, we said it last time, are very combo-oriented, but very different combos respectively. So Kazuya finds himself up on the platform, excuse me, in Bayonetta territory, and Bayonetta will stay in her territory up on the platforms.
Yeah, Willie has already put more time on the platform than most Elite Smash Kazuyas ever will, but even so, we do see a couple of good hits from the Bayo, but there's that grab, Chris, and Kazuya's not at a high enough percentage where the combos won't connect. A good grab into the right spot, and Bayo almost dashes right into a down smash.
Yeah, Willie all over that one, but just a little wide. So, small, weird hitbox on that down smash as Willie gets sent off stage, goes for another down smash. The forward smash won't connect, and it will lead to a Willie confirm, and just like that, the blink of an eye, and the stock count is tied.
Yeah, so now we're hitting that percentage where now the Kazuya combos won't connect necessarily as nicely as you would like if you are playing Kazuya, but there's that value again. There's the jab. Kazuya won't be able to use that heavy armor to get out of that, but will find an opportunity back on the stage. Bayo not going for anything too crazy, giving Kazuya a little bit of breathing room, which is a very important task, especially when Rage Drive is online.
Yeah, now we do see Willie get ball into the start of one of those combos, but not much from it. If nothing else, getting rid of that kill button, but Willie's still holding on to that stock. 155%, and you see the game plan for Bayonetta. Back air after back air. Willie looking to steal one there at a low percent, but not quite enough. The up smash comes out. Non-electric God Fist. Next, so no stun, but the up B will confirm an SU for the first time in set 3 with a stock advantage, and Chimpus Chimpy says, you know what, fine. I will forward smash twice off the respawn platform, and one of them will find you.
Yeah, it's a pretty big hitbox. I get it. Here we go. One Wind God Fist into another grab. It does get the jump off, so it won't crumple this time around, but is caught in the blender as 87% is built onto this Bayo.
Yeah, look at the electrics coming out. I mean, they're just not stopping. The combo looked like it was over. Bayonetta falls off stage. The down smash confirms, and the electric lands. Willie striking back and being the answer SU needed in this series.
And Kazuya Mishima does it again, Chris. The scary demon is back to cause problems, cause havoc across the board, and it is insanity. I mean, Series 1, we saw Demon Lady secure 6 or 7 stocks, and now this time around, we're seeing Willie already with 6. I don't know what it is about the Demon characters, but they are putting in work this series.
I just heard something really funny behind us, too. We have the pleasure of being in the same room as the players, and I don't hear much of what they say, but sometimes a thing or two comes through my headset, and they're talking about the upcoming player, right? We fully anticipate that it will be Snake coming out, and they started to talk the game plan, and Igloo cut himself off mid-sentence and says, "You're playing great, by the way." Like, oh, you don't say. No, SU really starting to claw their way out of this one, and if not, have a stock advantage in downtime for the first time tonight, let alone a stock advantage period. So Willie more than getting the job done so far, make it 6 stocks in his pocket, and now only 3 left in his way with a Pac-Man standing behind him.
Yeah, so now the question is, Snake, a character who, again, in the deficit, has a lot of damage dealt to him, but will find residual damage onto Kazuya. I do think that will cause problems for, like, combo-based game plans. There will come a point where Willie will not be able to do grab electric, nair, and, like, just go for the full thing.
The Kazuya combo.
Right. But we have seen Willie do a good job of playing around that, and instead may not always go for the full string, but will go for advantage on the opponent's get up from any given situation. He'll like very deliberately crouch dash in your face and then just wait.
Yeah, and I mean, a big factor too is we know how much invincibility Kazuya has as well. Now, the biggest issue is that a lot of these explosives will hit Kazuya's non-invincible parts. A lot of times we say Kazuya's invincible during certain moves. It's certain parts of his body that are invincible. And against explosions that hit you, like Kevin said, in big circles, he won't have that. Now, will he need it? I don't know, because you said like the game plan kind of does change against the Snake, but that's something to factor in. Every little bit matters, and that invincibility that Kazuya can rely on from time to time is probably not much of an option here.
This was the first series where we got the opportunity to see what happens when Snake approaches. When Kazuya's going for a little bit of laser camping, the last time we saw that, it was just a lot of laser camping, and that was it, because Snake didn't want to approach. But that is the ticket for Willie to close, or to get Snake close, is basically, it won't work out for Snake. Kazuya, believe it or not, we have seen it before, can play it slower, which is absurd, but even so, that means that Snake did find opportunities to go for dash attacks and stuff like that. One bad dash attack means that suddenly this zoner-esque matchup is in Willie's hands for a grab game. It's just a matter of finding it with this one stock.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, a shielded dash attack could mean a lost stock for Snake. I mean, it's as simple as that. And the kill moves for Snake, outside of these explosives, random sort of lucky moments, are the up tilt and that dash attack. I mean, he's got to play up close eventually, you'd think, and especially under these circumstances. The biggest thing is we haven't seen this Snake play like that. It's a bit of more of a, I don't want to say scared because that's demeaning, but like
cautious.
There you go. Careful, overly careful playstyle that we've seen out of this player. So, I don't know. Might have to be a switch up if the Snake is to come out on top. But if nothing else, he's got a shot. As long as he's got stocks, he's got a chance. And we see the reflector coming out instantly to make a statement from Willie.
As Willie does not approach on the platform game, instead sits back, and Snake doing a good job of throwing grenades this time around. Instead of trying to go for setups on the platform, is very deliberately pulling one and throwing, not going for anything crazy, trying to catch Willie in these awkward spots, because suddenly you could have that. Willie's shield half gone, but now playing it slow as Snake does eat one grenade, and in return, the other side around, but there's that grab. The dash attack did have a grenade in hand, so we won't see a crazy punish game. But even so, that is what you should be keeping an eye on for this series going forward.
Yeah, interesting play there from Snake so far, but matchup preference, you see it on the left side of your screen, relatively neutral for Willie, from Willie's perspective, as he loads in and just, again, looks to soften the load for Tip here. I mean, the task at hand is not to take these 3 stocks. It is just to do what you can with the resources you have. And so we see the percentage racking up once again. The lasers start to come out. We know that Willie's not afraid to sit back and shoot lasers. A bit of a flash of aggression there from Willie, almost connecting, but now the percentage starting to build up on himself. Snake really starting to hurt himself here as another laser connects 120% and having to recover under the stage. He makes his way all the way up, but we also know that Willie's not afraid to go up and chase that with an up B. Look at that. He's chasing the jumps. The up, what?
That was the down B. That was the command grab. The up tilt will KO. But I could not tell. That down B definitely, or that Snake up smash should have connected.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't, like, I know that Kazuya can armor it. I know that, like, that down B armor, even without Rage Drive, is, like, pretty good. But I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, something definitely seemed wrong about that. But nonetheless, it played out how it played out, and now, with the season on the line, both teams
3-3.
Yeah, back against the wall. Kip sitting down in the hot chair. Pac-Man making his first appearance here for set 3, and 3 stocks ahead of him on Snake. So, a character, have we seen these two
We haven't seen them play each other. And on top of that, Chris, this is the same story as Tuesday. One player goes in, 3 stocks to 3 stocks, someone needs to walk out. And it is high pressure. Going into this, understandably so, you will feel pressure no matter who you are, no matter what happens. But if you are going to feel that pressure, you can utilize it. Play to its strengths. If it makes you a little bit more aggressive, then play to your aggression. Don't feel the need to tame it. Play to what you want to do, what you feel is right, because otherwise you will regret it going forward.
Yeah, now is not the time to doubt yourself. Now is not the time to doubt everything you know about this game. Well, you said it. Whatever you feel confident in, go out and show it, because the season's on the line. SU has experience in these situations and unfortunately could not come out on top the last time they found themselves here. Well, make it a different player, a different team, a different opponent, different circumstances. Can it be a different result? Good damage to start so far, and momentum in Kip's favor already.
I like the idea of using the Nikita to force Pac-Man out, but Kip did have a key online and will be able to secure 35% to start things off. It's a great approach and a matchup that goes either way according to the preference on the left. But I do see the benefits of both sides, as we see Galaga charged a little bit, able to wall out some of the grenades, and Kip playing it slow. I think Kip has seen that the Snake has dealt a lot of damage to themselves and is willing to play slow and potentially have them build up the damage themselves, but this Snake player has done a really good job of adapting to that. In the Willy series, they didn't build a lot of percentage on themselves until later in the match. So for now, it's kind of a good approach from both sides to play it slow and kind of see who feels the pressure to initiate.
Yeah, percentage is starting to even out. The Nikita missile comes out, and it's interesting. We haven't seen this player go for many of those side B options on stage. I mean, that is a pretty committal option to sit completely still, helpless, with no control over your character for an extended period of time. But we're seeing this Snake not afraid to commit to it. The stun lands, but a weird interaction there won't finish him off. The bell gets Z dropped. Snake now up to 140%, and this is where you need to look out for hydrants.
Yeah, we do see Nikita thrown out once again. A couple of bells going out, but nothing KOing just yet. Playing it slow still. Kip sitting at a high percent, but you do want to find an opportunity to close the stock soon, because one Snake up tilt can spell disaster at this point. And I think Kip realizes that because he was sitting on the platform for a while. Didn't want to commit to anything too crazy, but dances around the Nikita beautifully to get a punish as an apple is thrown trying to call out the Snake to not recover high, but he does this time around.
Yeah, we know how oppressive those missiles can be for any player, let alone this SU roster, to deal with. So an amazing effort there by Kip to avoid it, avoiding that up tilt as well. Snake blowing himself up across the screen. The key barely missing there. Certainly would have found a kill, but explosives continue to rain down. Neither player finding their first just yet, as Snake makes his way up to the platform briefly. Hydrant comes down. Anything could do it from here. Kip does get caught by the Nikita missile, but still, Snake very close to losing this stock.
Yeah, as the air dodge is called out and both players drop the stock, and now we are back to even as the pressure starts to build more. I'm curious to see if we will see a repeat of what we saw at the start of this match, where it is a bit slower, or will one side feel the pressure to approach now that things are starting to even out and the stock counts start to decrease.
Yeah, 2-2. 0-0 for what it's worth. An even stock count, but percentage favoring Snake so far. The side B connecting there as we continue to struggle to find answers for that one. But dash attack connecting now. Up smash comes out. Kip able to avoid that one, but still just looking to find one window, slow this game down.
Yeah, these Nikitas are getting a lot of value, but a good Galaga will secure about 30% the other way. We do see a Galaga charged, and Snake doing a good job of not exploding to the own grenades this time around. Playing very cautious, playing very aggressive. We do see grenade pulled, going for the up tilt to secure the Pac-Man stock, but it won't be enough this time around, as he does start feeling the the pressure to approach and look for these up tilts. There's that dash attack. It could also offer a lot of value, but Kip is able to utilize that aggression and start getting those projectile games online as the Nikita is thrown out and won't find anything more than a shield on the pack.
Yeah, Pac-Man still struggling to find much punish off of those as well. It can be hard to approach the Snake even though he is so vulnerable in that state. It really is deceptive, and now we see the C4s really start to come out. None of them finding their way home. Another dash attack gets shielded. Kip reestablishing stage control, whereas the start of this stock certainly felt like it was leaning Snake's way. Kip has really settled back in, and just like that, look at the percentages. They're basically exactly even. The up tilt does connect, though. Kip lands on the Snake, so one stock left to work with, and Cleveland State, excuse me, one stock away from advancing.
Yeah, we do see Snake trying to recover high. Kip getting the bell online, looking for an opportunity to close it out, but we'll face a wall of grenades for now as Snake goes for the dash attack, looking for the back air to deal a lot of shield damage. It's both sides going back and forth. A bell is thrown once again. The hydrant is tossed, and it will be able to secure a stock as the percentages start to even out once again. And if this keeps playing out the way that it has in the previous times, this does mean that the pressure will be on Kip to potentially be the aggressor. But Snake right now feeling the one to instead go for a little bit more as he pulls the grenade, but is looking for dash attacks, looking for grabs, and is approaching with those grenades as they're sent all the way up. And that up air could have been dangerous, Chris.
Everybody's heart skips a beat. But Pac-Man able to make it back to the ledge, and he finds the forward smash, and it's enough to get it done! Kip finds the forward smash, and the team is able to breathe! The arena gets loud, we erupt as we break the curse 2 days after a heartbreak against William and Mary. The Hornets avenge themselves with a last stock, last hit win over Cleveland State.
It was an adaptation, Chris. That is all it took. We saw the interaction of the Snake side B off stage right then and there. And yet, it just doesn't, like, a lot of players get hit by that Nikita and then don't have an answer. Kip takes the time. It doesn't even have a lot of time. Gets hit by one, Tex goes off, and he could have Snake could have sent it up, could have tried to call something out, but no players adapt in that situation. Nikita is good. If you have the advantage to use it, it's great. But Kip finds a trampoline to bounce around it and killed him with a forward smash.
Yes, such a good play out of Kip, and you see the emotions from the team. Kip can't help but feel the emotion under these circumstances, and coming out on top. That man on your screen is bad, and he gets it done this time around. And again, Igloo, you saw, I mean, taking a moment to explain the gravity of what we just watched from Kip. I mean, that was nothing to scoff at. There were so many little things, and especially when it was looking bleak at times. I mean, Kip was starting to lose control at various points in that, but a couple of voided Nikita missiles and little interactions taking us all the way up to the top blast zone. Kip comes out on top.
That traded combo with the grenade, that could have been extremely problematic. Like, let's not overemphasize or like underemphasize this. One Snake up air at that spot, if Kip got knocked right, gone. If that Nikita connects, gone. And yet he danced. He danced around the options, finds the roll in, gets the forward smash, secures the stock at 80. Screw the lesson of Tuesday, Chris.
I guess so, man. I'm really starting to doubt myself. Wow. I mean, incredible showing, and what does that mean? Well, it means Shenandoah will be advancing to the next round of NACE playoffs. They proceed to face, I believe, the 1 seed, or at least the winner of the 1 seed's matchup. We assume to be Winthrop. If not confirmed to be Winthrop, we will let you know as soon as that's confirmed. Be sure to follow us on our socials to know when that game happens. But a big opportunity for here, and an opportunity that was absolutely earned by the guys behind us.
Shenandoah wants it, Chris. They wanted a chance to play essentially pro-level players, and they've got it. Now they have the chance to really show their stuff and show what it means to be a really good collegiate player in a top-level performance. I'm super excited for that matchup. You have no idea.
Yeah, well, as much as we can look forward to the next one, these players have absolutely earned the right to just take this one in, if nothing more, celebrate for tonight, and I'm dying to hear how the man himself is feeling after that moment. We've got Ben standing by with Kip himself. Ben, take it away.
Thank you, Chris and Kevin. I am standing by with the man of the hour, Kip the Pack God, if you will. First things first, Kyle, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling utterly ecstatic, Ben. Maybe a little too ecstatic. When I popped off a little bit, I felt like I was going to pass out a little bit. I'm not going to lie, but my arms are shaking, my legs are shaking. Everything is just going like at an extreme right now.
No, yeah, it was an unbelievably close series against Cleveland State here tonight. What was going through your mind all series long, and specifically what was going through your mind on that very intense 3 stocks to round it all out against that snake?
I knew that I played a lot better than he did on the first 2 games. I thought I had like pretty much his number, but he made some really nice adjustments, and it made my life a lot harder. I just couldn't just camp him, which is like keys and stuff like that. I had to take risks and actually approach Snake, which those kinds of trades where I hit his grenades, it really tends to favor him more than it does me, because Snake is such a heavy character and Pac-Man's a midweight. So I really had to really pick my moments very carefully. And once I knew he whipped that F tilt, and I knew he had to commit to either a second hit or take the end lag from the end of the F tilt at the end of the last hit, I knew it was perfect time for me to rip that F smash.
Yeah, it was indeed the perfect time. It landed. I don't know if you heard us in the prod room. We screamed. We were loud as heck, right? So, lastly, anything you want to say about the team, about Cleveland State, about anything?
I just love this team, man. Like these guys are like my best friends, man. I love them all so much. We all love having each other on the team. It's always such a pleasure for you all to have this opportunity to play with a team as crazy as this, and I'm really looking forward to play Winthrop. I did feel really bummed out that we lost our NECC match to William & Mary. Once I saw that, I was a little down in the dumps about not having to play Winthrop, because I really want to play a team as stacked as them. I can't say we'll have that much of a shot, but I just want to have the honor of playing a team as good as that, filled with top players like Lima and Peanut.
Of course, yeah. Well, don't count yourself out just yet. You never know. Underdog stories are a real thing. They're Cinderellas for a reason. So congratulations on the win. Congratulations to the entire SU squad. I'm going to toss it back to Chris and Kevin to wrap up the night. Guys, back to you.
Emotions as high as they can get. Confidence maybe not as high as I would like to hear, but congratulations to Kip. Congratulations to the team. We as broadcasters, I'm going to break character a little bit, because at the end of the day, we are Shenandoah students. I could not be more proud of the guys behind us. Heartbreak Tuesday night. Indescribable how that felt. And I can't tell you what it was like for the players, but I can certainly tell you that it was just awful to witness, but to strike back in such a fashion and earn that bid against Winthrop, confirmed Winthrop, is amazing to watch.
When Tuesday's match happened, you could hear the tension. It was just pure silence as suddenly one hit connects, SU goes down, and it's a collective exhale from everyone on the team, on the desk, in the back room. It truly was devastating. And yet, for a quick turnaround, 2 days, 48 hours, to come in and find yourself in another opportunity, extremely similar situation, pressure's on you, and turn the table. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the team. I love this environment. I love this university. Oh, it's great.
It is great, and as exciting as we get to be up here, that unfortunately has to do it for us for tonight. But you better believe we will be here to cover that Winthrop match when it happens. But be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching right now so that you don't miss out on that match when we go live. Be sure to drop follow on all of our socials so you'll be notified when it's going to happen well before it happens, because that's going to be one you won't want to watch. I'm Chris Clayton. This is Kevin Clayton. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life. We will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Man, thus far of where this ball is going to go and the pace of the game that they want to play. Pagani is going to take that one all the way to the backboard. Double tap will be able to find.
Contest everything. Here we see Mango almost get a beautiful shot there. It was really well saved by Flip, but the timing is almost there for Shenandoah. They're just feeling so confident. Look at that pass.
Oh yeah, of course, and Mango as well, just keeping the pace up, right? SU has not slowed down a single time. Flip reset will be able to find the angle. Mango styling on him. For themselves, Pagani trying to send that one over into a cross angle. Piazzi sending to the corner. Mango meeting that one, touch off the crossbar. Pagani with the follow-up over into that corner, but right now it looks very Hornets favorite as Mango's taking it from the sky and will be able to find it all by themselves.
Going into this next game, game 3 of this best of 7, you're just now, like, you started off slow in that game, but just unfortunate, the worst sound in Rocket League. Now we see Piazzi go for these solo plays, looking for anything, and Pagani just gets an unfortunate mistouch. You see on the camera now.
That will get spiked by SU. First overtime of the series.
Clears. Razo there's a back pass into the middle, which leads to a free shot from Pagani, but unfortunate that there is someone there to save it.
Cross coming through from Mango, the follow-up from Piazzi. So SU with a clean sweep punch their ticket to NECC East playoffs grand finals.
The double jump armor will get Igloo out of that situation this time around, but it should take the stock at any given moment, as the up airs do as well.
Absolutely. It's an online league, right? We're not playing in person, and that's where characters like Youngling really start to thrive in environments like this, as he does find the up smash off.
Getting a solid amount, trying to call out the jump, but it doesn't connect right there. Still, the quote that I saw was, "Why don't you solo?" Whoa! Okay. We'll get.
I mean, just look at this. Just shield after shield. The grab does connect. It still won't kill. You just able to make it back, but not survive that one.
That you need is a call out behind the hydrant to really close out a Pac-Man stalker.
Yeah, really smart play by Bayonetta, as we do see her lose that stock.
Evil, Chris. I don't like that. That's crazy that's how much time Kip is stuck in that witch time. But even so, the stock will be trading 40, but will find an opportunity to get back on the stage. The back air catching the DI the wrong way. Into the forward air, Far Rhombus evening out the stock count.
Yeah.
Worked out for the rest setup, and I think Far Rhombus acknowledged it. But look at the game plan. We do see a grab into the spot dodge. Even so, it is 2 stocks. Sitting there to shield a lot. And because of that, it's working against them. The up smash lag will lead into a Yoshi forward smash to close things out.
Against characters where it might just work, but not working this time around as he has to work his way all the way through it. But one way or another, he does secure the stock.
Yeah, as he finds it down there, trying to drag Youngling down, but will find a couple of good hits. The grab into the up throw will be able to close it out as Igloo is smiling.
70% on this Youngling. What was the lesson of Tuesday? That Pac-Man can struggle to close stocks, but not this Pac-Man. Bro, not quite enough. So the bell comes out. Can't quite hit off the ledge. Bayonetta with a re-grab, and at that high percent, Kip has all the time in the world.
But a hard roll read will mean that bell connects. It won't KO this time around, but another bell will connect, and this one will be able to KO. It doesn't deal well under pressure, and because of that, it's going to be on Far Rhombus that once they find their opening to run away with it, but for now, one stock goes down.
Sounded like this was kind of the one he just didn't want of all of them, but now you just don't get to.
Yeah, as Younglink is sent flying off stage, a couple of good nairs will go for this much of the neutral B, unless that Younglink is shielding, and shielding he is, as it goes real low off of one good down B, but a boomerang combo.
He gets it close forward, but not enough to finish the job. The eye out of Colony is now to 150%, but the back air will never let you survive at that percent. Go up and chase that with an up B. Look at that, he's chasing the jumps. The up, what?
That was the down B, that was the command grab. It was the up to will KO.
Yeah, the Snake makes his way up to the platform briefly. Migrant comes down, anything could do it from here. And Kip does get caught by the Nikita missile, but still, Snake very close to losing this stock.
Yeah, as the air dodge is called out and both players drop the
Felt like it was leaning Snake's way. Kip has really settled back in, and just like that, look at the percentages. They're basically exactly even. The up tilt does connect.
For the back air to deal a lot of shield damage. It's both sides going back and forth. A bell is thrown once again, the hydrant is tossed, and it will be able to secure it up. And that up air could have been dangerous, Chris.
Yeah, everybody's heart skips a beat, but Pac-Man able to make it back to the ledge, and he finds the forward smash, and it's enough to get it done! Kip finds the forward smash, and the team is able to breathe! The arena gets loud, we erupt as we break the curse 2 days after heartbreak against William and Mary. The Hornets avenge themselves with a last stock, last hit win over Cleveland State.
Get the pack, God, if you will. First things first, Kyle, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling utterly ecstatic, Ben. Maybe a little too ecstatic. When I popped off a little bit, I felt like I was going to pass it over. I'm not going to lie, but my arms are shaking, my legs are shaking. Everything is just going like at an extreme right now.
No, yeah, it was an unbelievable